Yeah.
Hey, welcome back to Kabsa. Your boy Adi. What's happening? What's popping? Episode 224. I got the homie Shamsi right behind me. I got Turso next to me.
Hello.
And today we got a returning special guest. It's been the 1 year anniversary. The one and only Sultan Galag. Shout out to Sultan. How you doing, man?
Hello, sahla.
How you been?
Good. You know,
Well, it's the 1 year anniversary of
it's
our
the
podcast.
1 year
of his.
Wallah?
What's
I didn't
name?
know that.
He returneth.
to a podcast.
The boy
Yep.
returneth.
Yep.
I need to fix these. damn
Welcome
wires.
back. Can I say welcome back? Even though I wasn't here the last time.
Yeah,
Yes.
you know, you missed.
I
last
did.
time.
I did
Yeah.
miss the last time.
By the way, my fellow blacklisted people.
أهلاً وسهلاً. Yeah.
Yo, thank you for that episode, man. It was good. It was heartwarming to know that, like, yo,
I mean,
hey,
just
not
one-
him, but all of them.
All of us were together. We're blacklisted. You know, it's the elephant in the room. We had
Yeah.
to mention it.
Of course, it's something that we wear as a badge of honor because we're hurt.
Okay, but my question: did it change anything for you guys?
Absolutely nothing.
No.
Absolutely nothing. It had like zero effect on
I
us.
have no idea what y'all are talking about, but okay.
Look at him act
yeah.
like he wasn't here.
Yeah, he wasn't.
Like
he
he doesn't know
didn't
what's
hear the
going on.
Like he wasn't here. He was.
Yeah,
he wasn't here.
You know everything about us
Yeah.
being blacklisted from the Fashion Commission. Don't
Yes,
worry, you're on the
that-
list too.
Yes, that. Yes.
The person that wasn't here.
Yes.
Your because the Malik.
Oh, do we want to start with the Fashion Commission again?
No. Listen. To be honest, there's no. But sort of an update since then. What happened?
Yeah.
Surprisingly, with Galag, since the last episode, since we've been blacklisted,
Mm.
things have been on the up and up.
No, that's a fact.
That's good to- that's
I can
good
see
to
that.
know.
Careful.
In terms of sales, in terms of brand recognition, it's like
You're wearing the new merch right now.
yeah,
Yeah, I was about to ask.
Some product placement right here.
Just making sure, like,
product placement. Exactly.
It's the first time I see Arabic cursive on a hoodie.
Exactly. Just a little bit, but also, I really these are all cut and sew, so these are the new patterns that we have. So I'm trying them out.
Looks clean.
That's dope.
Oh, this is
Love
what I
the
like
color,
about
though.
you. You do that all the time. Like
Yeah.
every time I would pass by, even when I spy down in Jeddah, you'll have one of these new pieces that's not out yet, and you give it a run before anybody else gives it a run.
Yeah, I gotta try it. I gotta see how it washes and everything. But overall, since then, it's been alhamdulillah. It's been great with the brand.
Congrats on the store and
Yeah.
City Walk.
Yeah, thanks.
Yes,
It
both
was-
of them.
it
Oh,
was,
there's two now. Okay.
Yeah, it was one.
There was only
Yeah.
one. It was only one.
No, but
Yeah,
like the
The
first
second
City Walk
one
and
now,
the
and that's the second.
City
Now
Walk.
you're
But
back.
yeah, no, it was a bit different this time. We had a lot of the other brands in. There was Urban Lot. There was No Bad
Shout out to
Vibes.
Kamal. I heard Kamal went back to Jeddah. Is it true?
He's in Germany now.
He's in Germany now.
He's in Germany
Okay,
now.
Allah
Him and
Yusuf.
Ali are in Germany doing
Allah
a little
Yusuf.
road trip.
Yeah, it's true. That's what we call it. That's what Hitler also called it. He called it a road trip.
Just across the park.
Exactly.
Come on, that joke I did last time, it was just a joke, buddy. Just remember, I was just joking. We're both bald friends, bro.
He's still walking. He's still walking it off, Adil.
Yeah.
Still
All right, chef, you're
Somewhere in
the
Anas bin Malik just walking, just like talking to himself.
I see him like jogging from the neighborhood all the time. And he always screams Urban Lot while he runs for motivation.
But to be honest, Yani, I'm thankful to him. I'm thankful to the guys. And
Yeah, shout out to the
he's a huge part of why Galeg's been, has done well this year.
He's silent, man. He's good at what he does. He is a definition of someone who's looking at it as a business more than just like, yo, this is just for the vibes. If you don't understand, you don't understand. No, it's like this like legitimate
And
business.
that's the thing, for me, as Galeg, as a brand, I want someone who's gonna sell.
Facts.
I don't want someone who's gonna package my stuff to be in a museum-like concept store. Like,
Yeah.
no, put it in whatever order you want, but as long as you sell it, as long as it gets to the customer, I don't care how it's presented.
Well, no, the thing with Kamal and Urban Lot, it became the place where you know that if you want something fresh, if you want something local, if you want to really know what to get, this is where you go, right? We were there recently for the drop that Proud did with Not Boring, and like the whole day you would see people coming in and coming out, and everybody's immediately like grabbing something that fits to his style. So he already offers that, for that audience, for that,
It's the only store that
target.
actually has authentic streetwear.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. Like, and it's
I don't recall anything else.
and it's right next to all of the local brands that you would want to find.
And they have a good balance as well with local and international.
True.
So you're going there, you're getting, I mean, the best of both, but you're getting the choice if you want local and if you want international.
And it's also beautiful to have that kind of competition. You go into a store, you find local and international, and you can see where the bar is between both of them.
Yeah, I mean, I look at some of the international brands and look at next to the local brands. I'm like, no, the local has a higher quality than this international. That has a lot of clout. But
It depends
It's
between one
not just
brand
the
to the other.
quality.
but I'm saying like you see it directly.
Yeah, it
And
gives you
there's
the
always-
opportunity to compare
Yeah,
on the
there's
spot.
always that perception. It's like, local, it's like worse quality and more expensive. I'm like, no, actually, they're right next to each other. You can actually compare them.
Yeah.
And,
So
not
I
just,
think-
and the prices as well, the prices and the designs. And when I was there, for me, the locals spoke much more to me than the international brands, right? Like I found myself gravitated towards Galag, towards Cricket Guru, towards personal issues rather
But
than
out.
all of the international brands. Yeah, but it also has that element in it,
You're not the target demographic, Shamsi, but it's all good though. We're glad that you can actually have
Thanks.
eyes and you.
Oh,
Thanks,
wow.
thanks.
I'm just saying.
Appreciate it.
Facts are facts.
cold.
It says facts are facts.
Facts, not feelings.
Exactly. Keep your things to yourself.
What feelings, Adam? The non-existent ones?
Allah. No, but seriously, like the where we met you and where you are today is a totally different thing because there's like layers to it. Like we were talking about it yesterday when me and you met. I was telling you, well, first off, like thanks for coming to the Riyadh. Like like we missed you. Thank you for coming.
Yeah.
Stop dragging my ass to Jeddah every time.
It is so dry. I had to drink like 4 bottles of water.
The second he got into the restaurant, he's like, I did 2 bottles of cold water now. He's like, how do you live here?
It's insane. And I feel like I'm breathing. Like when I breathe, I feel like there's sand in my throat.
Dude, I just came back from Jeddah. The humidity is ridiculous.
Here's the thing.
That is
Yes,
absolutely ridiculous.
Yes, it's ridiculous. But it's humid. It's not dry. I don't have to drink water every 2 minutes.
But I'm swimming in the streets. How am I supposed to live? How am I? I gotta change my shirt 3 times a day. What are you talking about?
You can stay
Per meal.
indoors. You can stay indoors in the AC. Here, even if you're indoors, you're dry.
Yeah, that's why we have like water.
Exactly.
Humidifiers everywhere.
Have you not been hydrated, Sultan?
No, I've been drinking water all day.
I mean, there we go.
Look at him. He's on bucket number 4 right now.
It's cooling down now. Yani you're coming to the end of the summer, so it started kind of.
But anyway,
Hey.
as I was saying,
Yeah.
there's the last time when you were here, we were discussing basically how you're growing the brand, how you're focusing on the brand, and so on. Now, since you were here, what I've noticed, one was a great store in City Walk. The second one was a great collection of stores in City Walk, which you were also involved in. What I've been noticing a lot is that for a person that I know very well, and to call you a hater friend, right?
Oh,
You barely leave the fucking house, but the fact that you're actually leaving the house and doing things outside, it shows that things are going well.
Yeah, alhamdulillah.
And also the skateboard community. That was another point that we talked about yesterday that you hate me giving you credit for, but I'll give you credit for it anyway.
Well, it's because I don't think that I should get credit. I think they should get credit for what they're doing. And
Okay,
I think
cool.
that I can
All right, all right.
support.
All right, stop.
Okay.
Before you continue your humble bullshit. All right? Let's put it this way. You saw that the skater community needs support in Jeddah, right? You noticed it because we had this conversation before you did anything else. You noticed that there's a gap. And so you didn't say, yo, I'm going to just take these guys and make money off of them and just put them in posters. You tried to inject the brand with everything that they like in the lifestyle. And to the point that if they need any support, you were there to support. Because I've seen you come back and forth every time they were in Riyadh. You're
Yeah.
support. That's support.
True.
Yeah, it's not like, yo, okay, if you guys need something, pass by. No, you're actually supporting. You and Kamal are supporting at Urban Lot in Jeddah. I'm not going to say what's happening. I don't know if it happened yet or not, but I think it's...
Oh, no. That's going to be in Riyadh. It's not going to be in Jeddah.
Oh, for I thought it was going to be in
Yeah,
Jeddah.
no. We're doing something for y'all over here.
Oh, thank you.
Look at you being so
Thank
kind
you.
and gracious.
Oh, my
That's,
God. Thank you for lowering your standards to ours.
Exactly. But no, and sort of shifting the direction of the brand a little bit and doing more to what they need. I think you see now we're selling, decks, and even we're doing the wheels and trucks and all that. And you can buy a complete Galag skateboard.
nice.
Like every part of it is custom Galag.
That is crazy.
So we're doing that now. But yeah, I mean, there is a gap. And in Jeddah, I think it's a combination of, for example, us, Urban Lot, 16th Street, and Crooked Guru, for example. And I think that's whenever we try to do something, a pop-up, or all of us are sort of involved in it. And I think that's what makes it great. And
It's a tight-knit community over there.
yeah. It's everyone is sort of trying to do their part, but
Everyone has a brand, and each brand is carrying its weight while supporting the other brand.
exactly that's the idea.
Yeah.
That's the idea, because we're all focused on our own aesthetic and our own lane,
Yeah.
but also there are ways we can.
You all recognize that you come together in terms of being part of that Jeddah community, right? Like you're all
Yeah.
trying to serve the same community at the end of the day. And when you come together, like you end up with something that's more than each of you can do on his own. Simple as that.
And being someone who doesn't like to leave the house, it's nice to have other people that leave the house. No, but I think the guys at Crooked. Here's the thing.
They give you the option to stay.
But here's the thing. The guys at Crooked Guru are similar. They don't leave.
same
They're
vibe.
very sort of like, we're gonna do our own thing and we'll come out when we come out.
Okay, which seems to have worked for you.
Yeah, apparently. Yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
Yesterday we were having a conversation, me and him, about what's happening in Jeddah in terms of all these people that are like so dedicated to the work that they do. And I was telling him the problem with Riyadh is that there's so many people that people would actually do it and stick to it even if they don't love it or not. But in Jeddah, you find out real quick if this is going to be your passion or not, because you're going to be broke doing it. Like, are you that passionate to work on it for you to make money off of it? Or is it going to be this little side thing that you want to do on the side? And in Jeddah, I just said, like right now, you just mentioned 4 or 5 brands that we've been hearing about for the last 3 years or so. And all those brands have their own style, their own language. They have their own mission statements, and all of them have their own direction. But at the same time, all those brands are working together to put a community together where all of them can get something out of it and can give back something at the same time.
Yeah, and I think it's great to have that, especially in Jeddah. I feel like, and I think it goes to show you can sort of live off doing one thing, sort of having one thing that you've done that gets recognition. You can live off of it in Riyadh for 2-3 years because there's a lot of eyes in Riyadh.
True.
In Jeddah, you have to keep moving. You have to pump out new stuff because the measure of success is different. The measure of success is direct to customer. Riyadh, the measure of success is how many publications am I in?
Exactly.
How many magazines have I been in? But then if I go to ask, I'm like, how's your sales? Doesn't necessarily reflect. I'm not saying I had that conversation with someone, but I think generally that's the...
No, I agree with you 100% because I look at Rex. Rex puts out more things than any other artist that we know. Oh, shout out to Rexy, by the way.
Stad.
Stad. Yeah, it's Stad. It's Stad. Yeah, Rex. Stad. Shout out, Rexy. So, like, for Rex, when I see him, Rex is always putting out new content. He's constantly working. And I look at other people here in Riyadh, they're doing one thing, and then we're waiting to the next winter for the next drop. And I think the big difference between Riyadh and Jeddah when it comes to the creative scene and fashion scene, in Jeddah, it's more collaboration, and Riyadh is more competition. You come here to compete. You're not coming here to play buddy-buddy with someone. You're always taught, hey, take over shares in the market. Cutthroat. And that's why all these people, they want to be nice, but at the same time, they want their brands to be best. But in Jeddah, you have that space to actually have a conversation. How can we grow together? And the other's like, oh no, if I don't grow real quick, then I lose out, and then my brand dies.
I mean, I don't think it's necessarily if I don't grow, because I haven't seen a lot of growth.
If I don't stay relevant.
And it's not shade to specifics. But
it is shade. It is shade.
It's to general, not to specifics.
I think what a lot of Riyadh has is there's a lot of movements,
there's eyes
flash in
here.
the pan.
No, but there's eyes on Riyadh.
True.
That's not in Jeddah, and I think it's also reflective. And I think more recently, the whole thing with the spread on GQ when they put the shed light on the creatives of Saudi. And you look at they scoured the kingdom for these creatives. You look at all of them; they all live in Riyadh.
Yeah.
True.
I'm like,
This scoured the kingdom. Come on, Riyadh.
people outside of Riyadh don't exist. Apparently,
You need to
when it
understand.
comes to these publications. And listen,
This
for
asshole
me,
is like,
I mean, I don't hear anything wrong so far. I don't know.
I'm glad we agree.
Yeah.
we're making a statement. No, but it's and this isn't specifically, and I'm not saying anyone specifically doesn't deserve to be there. But there's sometimes I looked at some of the people, and it's like so and so leading the creative industry in the kingdom.
Okay, those are just words.
No, hold on. And I'm like, oh, it's someone I should know about. If I don't know the name, let me look into them. So I look at their social media. There's nothing there. I Google the name. I'm like, there's nothing. I'm like, what are they leading? I need someone to let me know. Where's the article?
They were leading the journalists into a conversation.
So that
It's like, this guy is creative. He is leading the industry.
But then, there are people I look, I'm like, okay, I get it. That person is in their field. They're doing great. But then I look at a lot of them, I'm like, just widen the scope. Look at Jeddah, look at Sharqiyya, look at wherever, There are people doing things. There are people kind of quietly sitting there and doing things.
I think
And
that's
I
the
don't
problem.
think, and I
quietly.
no,
though.
I'm not saying quietly because they're on social media. They're sharing their stuff, but they're not friends with the people here who are connected to these publications.
Yes. Okay.
Because what does the publication do? The publication is in debate or wherever.
Yeah.
They'd call someone that they worked with before.
Who do
Hey,
you
listen.
know?
Hey, listen. We're doing this about creatives in Saudi. Cool. Who do you know? Give us a list.
Exactly. Who do you know?
This is the list. And I know, all right, take care of that. Do the photo shoot. Send us a bio of each of them and we'll do it. And for me, that doesn't carry much weight because when that happens to Galag as a brand, it doesn't change anything in terms of sales. If I don't put a lot of weight in it, but I see people around me.
And how
I see people
respond to
around
it.
me and how they're responding and how it's like, while I tell them like, listen, it doesn't mean anything. You are getting jobs, you are getting whatever it is, you are, your success is measured by the tangible. But you can see they're like, yeah, but it's disheartening when I know I'm doing all this stuff and they're
not getting the recognition.
and they're platforming these things and they know it. And it happens with a lot of the guys, and this is the point where I don't want to get specific because people will get angry when I say this, and I don't want to cause issues with other people. Like with
The creative community is sensitive.
I can cause issues with me and other people because I don't, because the people who I know my opinions on them and they know my respect for them, so they wouldn't take what I say wrongly. And it's stuff that I tell them.
Fair.
You heard that, Shamsi?
Very fair.
Don't take it personal, Shamsi.
Okay.
So I think and if they have an issue, they can give me a call. It's fine. But yeah, and I think that's something that is an issue. It's like, yeah, the creative community is outside of Riyadh as well.
So it's on the publication, not doing research.
Exactly. For me, it's that. It's
easier,
do
right?
your
Going through
research.
the
Because do
easier
your
route.
research. Don't
Riyadh is a bubble,
outsource.
that's why.
No, but Riyadh is the capital, and I understand the focus on it. I'm not saying,
And
I don't
no,
it is also a draw for a lot of these
But-
creatives to come and settle here.
Yeah, no, I
so
get it.
It collects
for sure, for sure. But my thing is, it's like when you're featuring the same people over and
There we
over
go,
and
that's
over
different,
again
yeah.
for the same things. It's not like they've done something new that will, and doing something vague as this creative is creating projects to create to showcase culture, and I'm like, it's all these buzzwords. And I'm like, okay, I want to know about these people, and you as a publication that's platforming them is not giving me the information on why I should care about this person. I want to know. Like, you're platforming them,
You also
and I
need-
want to know, and I want to be like, oh, they do this. All right, I'm gonna keep track of this. But you're giving me all these buzzwords that mean nothing, and I'm like, I don't care. It's just another photo.
It's meaningless to me. It doesn't
It's
really
just
have
another photo
any
and,
value.
Yeah, that's the thing, and that's why I never put a lot of weight on the publications. But for me, it's just seeing the people around me that are doing all this work. I'll give you an example. Why hasn't any of these publications done a piece on Urban Lot? On Kamal and what he does?
Good question.
For someone that I know for a fact puts a lot of support into the youth specifically. How he moves, especially in Jeddah. How he gives all these guys the support, you know, even when there's these guys who have ideas. Listen, I want to start a brand, you know, and he always says, "Okay, I'll give you the blanks.
He has the conversation.
I'll give you the blanks.
Passes the knowledge.
Give me something. I'll give you the blanks. You need to sort out the manufacturing and the printing, and I'll sell it in the store for you." He does that.
I'm offering you that door.
He offers them that door, and he does that, no question. You know what I mean?
This episode is sponsored by Urban Lot for anybody that's just wondering.
But you know,
come out, put up the money. So
Exactly.
we have to.
But why has no one done a feature on that?
I can tell you why.
You know, okay, another brand, Crooked Guru. The amount of years that they've been here and the amount of stuff that they've done for the local community in terms of if it's streetwear, if it's events, if it's graffiti, if it's all that, the amount, and I haven't seen any of these publications looking at them.
Because they're not on ground. They don't see.
But who do they look at?
You know?
They look at the brand that's putting one logo and selling it a lot, and they're saying, "Oh, these are leading the." It's still the same thing. I'm like, just open your eyes and see all these people that are working.
You're asking all the wrong questions. I can tell you specifically why they're not looking at Kamal.
Why?
It's not that hard. Kamal is authentic. Kamal is not. I'm not joking, for real. Like, we're going through this right now. Last year we had a lot of coverage. This year, Adil is an asshole to us. Wouldn't want to be friends with him.
You're welcome.
Exactly. Thank you. And Kamal is not willing to lie. Kamal is not willing to fake his personality to fit between a certain group. Kamal is not willing to be at the house party to say, "Oh, look at me, I'm right here." Kamal is not willing to go and do the bullshit that everyone who is in this creative community faking themselves to be in front of people. He's not willing to do that. He's actually willing to do actual work and get things done. But these people who are trying to put work and get things done, they're not going to be recognized because there's a bubble of bullshit. And this bubble of bullshit just got so big that everybody's just eating each other's bullshit. And if you don't have good enough bullshit to fit in, we don't want it. We want our bullshit. Oh, you're authentic? Oh, you care? Oh, no, we don't like you. You said it yourself. I've seen brands that are partying with other brands, and none of them have done shit this year.
True.
Nothing. This has been a fucking quiet year for all of them. But everyone's like, talking about, "Oh, I'm working on my winter drop." How are all y'all coming back in the winter out of nowhere and expecting your numbers to be the same? No business ethics. None of that bullshit. All they want is the clout. And that's the problem. Kamal's not looking for clout. They want clout. Because they want clout, they're willing to lie to each other and have these fake gatherings and do all that bullshit. We know it. We've been in it. Shamsi's still in it to this day. He loves the bullshit. So for us, I'm like, from my end, I was like, fuck it. I don't want to be a part of this. He wants to be. It's up to him. Jokes doesn't exist.
Alhamdulillah. Alhamdulillah.
No, he can grin from here to fucking tomorrow. That's the fucking truth. That's the fact it is. But I'm not willing to bullshit and lie. And Kamal's not willing to bullshit and lie. That's why you didn't get the coverage. Everyone that's covered on GQ is because someone called someone and he's like, "Who do you have for me?" "Oh, let me see his account." "Oh, is his account good?" "Okay, can you put a story together?" And they go ahead and put a bullshit story. This is what we were doing with our piece. I wanted Jasmine. And the only thing I told Jasmine was like, "Write whatever the fuck you want. I don't want to know anything about it. Just come here, do your thing, and that's it." And she came, she interviewed all of us individually and then sat with all of us as a group. And then she sat through a whole podcast with us. She did the whole thing. We didn't know a single thing she was going to do. And then she put out the piece that she thought fit us. And we were happy with it. Even though there were some things that was critiquing, but for us, we're okay with it because we want you to give your point of views. All these other people, bro, they're just collecting shit. It's just the name of a fucking journalist next to them. They're not really fucking journalists.
Yeah, and that's one thing.
I think I just alienated so many fucking communities in one conversation.
Bravo, Adil, bravo. Love that.
Shamsi is like,
I mean, as soon as he said bubble of bullshit, as soon as he said bubble of bullshit,
I saw the smile.
I'm like, okay, I know exactly where this is going.
On a tangent.
Yeah.
But yeah, at the end of the day, there's not much I don't think there should be much weight to it, because at the end of the day, you know, and for me, it's all these people through this last year, since the last time, you know, whether it's Kamal, whether it's Ali, Satine, Urban Lot, the skaters, City Boys, Ammar Mahmoud, Mazen, all these guys, Azuz, and it's all these guys helped with the success of Galag. For example, there's a pop-up, I need someone to handle the sales. I trust any of them to handle any of these kids. ممكن أقول له ممكن تجيني بكرة؟ خلاص. They're there, they'll handle the stuff. I can guarantee they'll do a good job. And when it came to the city walk, I'm like, hey guys, are you down? Boom, done. 6 weeks, they're there every day.
Dope.
Selling.
Commitment.
They're there. And it's not like I'm going above and beyond, you know, and they're
committing to the cause.
And this is the thing, like when I say they're part of the success, they're very much even like financially part of the success. It's not just like the brand awareness.
Yeah, I know.
And that's where I think the real impact is.
And this is why I rate you so highly. You recognizing that it takes more than just you to get things done.
I'll tell you something else. Also, you met Quinner and Alec from Caliper.
Shout out to the boys at Caliper.
Yeah, I mean,
amazing guys.
Even without them, there wouldn't be Galag. You know, it's Galag isn't me. Like, I'm not the face of it. I don't.
Inte Galag.
No, but you know what I mean. Like,
the original Galag is also there.
But I don't go out and market myself as, oh, I'm this brand owner. I own this brand. It's like, no, the brand is out there. If it comes up in conversation, we'll discuss it, and that's it. But you know how people sometimes, oh, I'm a designer of this thing. Again, I am not a designer.
You are more than one, you know, category.
But here's the thing. With Galag, for example, Galag Garage, the guy that does the designs is Alec from Caliper. So we come up with a concept, and he just goes off and starts like going crazy with it.
Love those.
So it's sort of it's his, and thankfully he enjoys that aesthetic. So it's sort of I leave it up to him to kind of do the designs,
and
because
also something that aligns with what you want.
It aligns with the automotive stuff. Yeah. So the way we works. You know, we agree on the concept. He does the designs, and then comes back. We fine tune it. We get it right. We get it to a point where it's like it's something that reflects what I would do, what I would want to put out, and what they would want to put out as well. And of course, you know, they've worked with crazy people. They've worked with Hidden. They worked with Daniel Arsham on his car. You know, so they have that caliber, and they're still working with Galag. You know what I mean? So I'm like, credit to them that they're still going with it. They could tell me, Sultan, done, we're too big for you, and we'll go. But they're still working with us, which is great.
They see the vision, and they see something that works.
But also, it's been years that we've been working together. There is a good rapport. You know, I saw them recently when I went to Madrid. I went to their studio, and they came here. So so that's the thing. Galag is more than just me.
It's bigger than just one guy. There's a whole like
it might
tribe
be
of
funneled through me, but there's a whole collective
ecosystem.
There's a whole ecosystem. Not necessarily there's like a whole team, but there's an ecosystem that works. Then also each of them is doing their own thing. Like Caliper has their own thing. We're still sort of finding time to put this thing together, and finding the consistency as well. To keep it going. We're not going to just put this thing together and then wait a year. It's like, no, we did this winter. All right, cool. Summer's coming up. Let's come up with an idea and let's drop something.
Again, it goes back to everything I just told you from before, because it is an ecosystem, but the reason it works is because your vision of Galag is bigger than just clothing. You're looking at it as something that has its own life. So you're not saying, oh, I'm going to make this design because people like this pattern today and make money off of it. You've never followed trends. You just followed, what makes this brand better locally, internationally, and as a community.
And you have to look at trends. You have to look at trends, but then you have to look at it like, does it align with the thing that I do? And then If it fits, cool, go with it. But don't go out of the way to change everything about your brand for that.
No, but so Galag started with cars, right? And then
Galag started with cars,
into skaters, and it's not just
It
limited.
expanded to clothing, and then the thing went into the skate.
Yeah, so-
but it was never like a trajectory.
That's what I'm saying. It's more than one thing.
Yeah.
It's something that grows organically.
Yeah,
It's
and I look-
evolving.
Yeah.
He's allowed,
Yeah,
you're
it's-
allowing it to evolve as it is.
Exactly. It's always evolving. And so, because I look at, for example, when people who follow trends, right? There was a brand that we discussed last year. We never mentioned the name, but people know what I'm talking about. Is that so? I'm looking at shops that normally they say, "Oh, we're only keeping this brand because it sells, but we don't really like it." So now they're trying to get rid of the brand because it's not selling anymore.
Because it's no longer trendy.
But it's not that. It's like you were releasing basically the same thing over and over in new colorways, maybe a slight variation on the logo. So I'm a customer, right? Let's say at most I really like your stuff, but I have 5 of your t-shirts, 6 of your hoodies, 3 or 4 of your sweatpants.
How much more?
You're releasing the same thing. How much more am I going to buy?
Exactly. And that goes back to the point that I was making earlier, that Riyadh brands have that flash in the pan where, I'm going to hit now and it's going to be great and that's my hit.
And they don't last.
And they don't last. Well, whilst Jeddah has that, okay, let's build together slowly and grow bigger at a slower pace, but a much more sustainable state.
It's the idea, where we look at Galag, for example. It's like, yes, we're going to have the t-shirt. We're going to have the hoodie. But we don't have sweatpants, for example. Like, we don't do that. But it's like, okay, let's...
Because it's hot as hell. That's why. Humid temperatures.
But-
Yeah,
Yeah,
not allowing anyone to wear sweatpants.
But it's like the idea is like when you add different types of clothing, you're offering
Exactly.
something new. So you're giving the customer or the returning customer something new to look at in your brand.
True.
But if I'm giving him hoodies all the time, if I'm giving him t-shirts all the time, yes, he'll want to change it. It depends on the graphic. But if I'm giving him a new type of jacket, a fleece, something that
Exactly.
he doesn't have from
Every
my
drop is
brand and he
unique, yeah.
likes it, he can get that.
A shoe, not just that.
A shoe,
Like,
exactly. We're working on a couple now. actually.
There we go. Like I can get a shoe from Galag. I can get a fleece jacket. I can get a bisht,
Yeah.
like a literal bisht, So
That one didn't do well, but yeah.
But it's still a dope piece, though.
It's really good.
Right?
That one I
Yeah.
thought was gonna hit.
Dude, I got mine. I'm waiting for winter. That's all.
Yeah.
Exactly. Did you buy one? You didn't buy one
No, I
yet.
didn't
yeah?
get one.
Yeah, I got one.
He got one on sale.
Yeah, of
I
course.
did.
Turks.
Yeah, of course, man. Sales. That's my thing.
Yeah, that sale went well.
Saving money Turks. This is what we call them.
No, there's nothing wrong with that. That's the reason we did the sale. We wanted to sell. We wanted people to get it.
No,
for me,
I
it's
don't
like,
think it didn't hit because it wasn't good. I think
was too expensive. It was
Yeah,
too
I think it was expensive.
Oh, I know it because
but
also
to
when we
me,
made
also, it's not. Yeah, of course, no shit.
Yeah.
But I thought Sara Fiha, to be honest,
It's a
Quality.
unique
For the
piece.
quality
It's a
of
unique
work,
piece.
it. But here's the
and
thing.
as a one-off,
I could try to convince everyone that the quality is what we paid for. But at the end of the day,
you lost money on it.
you're But at the end of the day, you're not entitled to a customer. You're
Customer
entitled
gets-
to design. You're entitled to put your work out there. You're not entitled to an audience.
You're not entitled to somebody actually liking it and buying it.
Exactly. That's the thing. People think they're entitled to customers. People think they're entitled to an audience, to people liking their work. You are not.
If that tells you anything, it tells you that people are entitled.
لا يا شيخ.
I mean, that's it's
Yeah,
an astute
yeah, yeah.
observation,
But it is that. And that's the thing people need to understand. It's like, oh, this thing didn't hit. Okay, so I'm not going to do anything anymore.
That's the difference between someone who is going to keep that passion alive and keep it running, and between someone who thought he had an idea and it didn't hit. And he's
But
like,
it's
okay, now
not.
what?
But it's not that easy as well.
No,
It's not
definitely
that. It's not that easy to kind of something didn't hit. Okay, or you can shift what you're doing
Mm.
and to move in a direction that still keeps what you want to do, but it's a more feasible direction.
Mm.
And I think that's something that a lot of people have a problem with, where it's great when something looks good in a photo shoot. It's great when something looks good when an influencer wears it, and they'll put a couple of pictures, and it gets shared. But do people buy that?
Well, I think a lot of people, those same people, have a problem with not really having a longer term vision of where they want to go. Right? It starts off at a certain place, and you're like, okay, this is what I want to do now. But in terms of what do I believe this can be or where it should go, there's zero, conceptualization of that concept.
Here's the thing. I don't know their creative process, so I can't talk about it. I can only speak to what I would know. But
You
it
gotta be
just
nice after you got blacklisted. You
Oh
became a nice guy.
no, we're
Look
getting
at
there.
him.
We're getting there. No, we're getting there. Oh no, but if you want to get into something, okay, let's talk about plagiarism.
Yes. Let's talk about
So-
plagiarism.
Okay.
So here's the problem. There is a brand that was actually had a sponsored ad that came up to
Yeah, couple
Yeah.
of weeks ago, was it?
yeah. And I'm looking at it and I'm like, it's like it has a design. It's off-white. It says off-white, but then it
No.
puts under just to be cheeky, but it's fake.
Okay.
So, hint, we're parodying
yeah.
Balenciaga, but it's fake.
Okay.
You know?
Legally, I'm cool.
So,
Yeah.
so I'm like, you're building your brand on other logos,
but it's fake.
but it's fake.
Mm.
So
Every
look
time
at
you tell
that.
someone that they tell you that bullshit ass code, what was it?
It's parody.
No, great artists.
Great Art Steel.
Yes.
That a good artist copy, great artist steal.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, but there was so
But that's different though.
Yes.
this is
Here's the law.
this is the funniest one where there's this brand that sold T-shirts, and they literally stole a logo from a big company in Jeddah,
Okay. Like
Oh,
straight up ripped it off.
and it's literally the logo,
Yeah.
the logo of the company. It's not like they took the typeface; it's the logo.
Mm.
تروح النخيل منتزه النخيل تلقاه في الحيط.
Okay. It's like there. It's on a wall,
Yeah.
a literal wall.
Yeah, hold on. Let me pull up. Let me show it to you, and it's hilarious.
Okay, so they ripped off the logo on their T-shirt. And then,
Yeah. Hold
But
on.
that's something you find everywhere. I mean,
No. You need to see this. This is hilarious.
I'm giving you time while you look for it.
Exactly.
Okay, yeah.
This is all about buying time. Yeah, I got it.
Yeah, you're saying?
Yeah, I'm saying like the amount of artists that I follow that are just going like, these are my designs. Found them in a T-shirt in Walmart or whatever.
Yeah.
That's something you find everywhere.
That's normal.
And-
But what's the name of that website that all artists went to?
So look at this.
Which
Hot
one?
topic.
So you see this. You know this. You've seen this
Yes, of
before,
course.
right?
I've seen this logo before. Hold up, what is
No,
it?
you've seen this T-shirt before.
Yeah.
So this is like, the fashionistas are posting it, and so let me show you the logo.
The alternate version.
The alternate version, the original. I wanted to, I was going to take a picture of it, put it in my story and tag them and say collaboration of the year.
That website that was like LinkedIn from graphic artists. Behance?
Behance, yeah.
Yes, people used to jump on Behance and take people's work and just put
that
on
was-
shirts and
that
start
was
selling
stupid.
it.
Yeah, that was stupid.
So
People don't care.
Same thing with Flickr. Wow, no way.
Yeah, we can't tell people that.
Okay.
No way. Okay.
yeah, it's for me, it's
That's a ripoff.
a ripoff. But for me, it's just like, it's such a disappointment because the reason I hate that because I expect more. Like,
Yeah.
because people have told me about the person. I was like, no, this person's normally very meticulous about this. I'm like, clearly is meticulous.
Clearly, very clearly.
So for me, I'm like,
He's meticulous at plagiarism.
yeah. So
I
you
want to get it right.
So you see a lot of that, and I'm like, why? Why are you doing it? Why are you doing it that way? You can create your own stuff. Why are you trying to?
Lack of creativity, lack of inspiration.
I was
No,
gonna
no,
say
no,
that,
no,
Shamsi.
it's not lack of
I swear to
creativity.
God, I was gonna say that exactly. Lack of creativity. Then I just took a split second to think, and then I just remembered that I live in the Middle East. Okay,
Okay.
because
Lack of ethics. You said that earlier. that one also works. No, that one actually also works, right?
let's not forget that there's a lot of people that are looking for that hit.
Quick
right?
buck.
Yeah, not only the quick buck. And I'm gonna make a statement. So watch, I'm gonna take this thing and I'm gonna add that to it, and everyone's gonna be like, "Oh my god!" So everybody has that. They want to create that shock factor.
Which brings me. It's
There
not,
is
it's not a
no,
shock factor.
No, there is a
right?
shock factor,
No,
but
but
also
it's like the.
Yeah, it's like, can you imagine?
but no,
Imagine I took a company's logo, I put it in a T-shirt.
But I said, not real. Oh, bro. If Virgil can, anyway,
But really,
no,
it
you're
is
talking
that,
about
right?
people who are looking for that quick buck and they don't want to pay for design. They don't want to pay for creativity. They don't value what design can offer. That is my issue.
I don't think it's not they don't value. They're not even aware. The thought process hasn't gone beyond.
I don't think they think about. Oh, I'm stealing a logo and putting.
That's
it
what I'm
there.
saying. The thought
It's
process
probably like
is
I'm
very
repurposing it because I have a different meaning for that word.
I'm
within
doing
my
something different
context.
with it. You know.
Over the week, I met a kid named Yusuf. Forgot his last name. I think Tamar. Shout out to Yusuf. If I butchered your last name. So anyway, Yusuf graduated from high school in Jeddah. His parents gave him an ultimatum of what he wants to do as long as he's passionate about it. And he said, I want to go learn fashion design.
Dope.
Actually, it wasn't fashion design. It was something else. Went to Florence, went to a prestigious, I don't know, it was like school or whatever it is. And
Fashion School of Florence. Yeah.
2 years.
Why do you have a French accent?
I lived with Shamsi for a couple of years.
Yes.
Yeah.
It rubs off.
Ooh la la.
But what's his name? He studied pattern making,
Nice.
Okay.
right? Hold on, let me read it off. I have him on my Instagram.
I mean, that's something you don't hear a lot.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So we were sitting down talking to him. I was like, you're a one of one. We don't have anyone that's working in anything that you're talking
And
about.
we have so many like traditional, wonderful, beautiful patterns that are part of that our heritage.
I showed
history.
him the Galag pattern.
Yeah.
Remember the Sadu one?
Yeah.
And then when I zoomed in and he saw Galag, he was like, oh, what the fuck is this? And I
Nice,
was like,
the-
me too. I didn't pay attention to that either. Exactly.
We're about to do
But the kid is so dedicated. He's now in Rome.
Iji.
He's doing his, what's his name? Internship under someone that is the Suit King.
Okay.
Dope.
And he's
Sounds
taking all the know-how. So when I was talking to him and he was telling me about the technicalities of how to put things together, that's when you're like, oh, this kid is passionate.
There we go.
This kid really loves it.
That's the word.
And I was like, listen, are you working to collaborate with people? He's like, no. He's like, when I graduate, I got 2 more years. When I graduate, I'm gonna start like, yo, I respected him even more.
Respect.
He knows.
Most
where
Most
he
people
is.
would be like, all right, let's do something.
No,
Yeah.
most people will jump on fucking YouTube and then they come out like, yeah, listen, I want to make a brand. Why? Because they found 5 YouTubers who made brands.
Yeah.
Exactly.
'Cause
And
they
it's
thought
the
it was
same
easy.
bullshit.
And
Yeah.
and here's the thing, like you could do that, and that's fine, but it's just gonna take you. You're gonna stumble a lot, and it takes more of a commitment, I think,
Exactly.
but so
to keep
you
at it,
can't
to
make
figure
it
it
just to
out,
make it.
rather than studying it and doing it. I didn't study it,
No, but so it brings
and we did stumble a lot.
it brings you back to the point of what do you want to do with this? Where do you
Exactly.
really want to go with this?
Are you really committed and
You're like-
passionate to it?
In your situation, it was something that started somewhere, and then you just, as you mentioned, you stumbled upon it. But it also life led you that way. You know.
It becomes a new motivation in it. It becomes first, started with the cars. It's like, all right, let's create some merch on it. And
There was
then
a
from
reason.
that,
There's a
let's see if we
purpose.
can create collections. Okay, from there, we tried different things. We tried to go more cultural. Then we shifted back to the cars. And then a new motivation is like, okay, put that energy into the local community.
You saw
see what you can build with that.
Something you could do.
And now it's there. It's like, okay, so now that we've sort of reestablished where we are, how can we grow that from this end?
It grows it from you. That's what I've been trying to tell you from the beginning because I know you and I know a lot of things about you, right? So the things that I can tell people
Scary.
is the commitment. It's your fault for talking to me. Okay. You want to be my friend. Anyway,
Friends in hate.
you put the same commitment into fashion and the same way you put the same commitment into movies.
Man, I really want to talk.
I know. Look,
really wanna talk,
the
but
third third episode is gonna be
third
about
episode.
movies. The third
Because
episode
that
is
one
gonna
I
be
have a
movies.
lot to say.
Because a lot of people do not know about that side of you, the
Yeah.
production and the
I
writing and
have-
so
the
on.
movie man.
I can't get blacklisted before I do something.
Exactly. So we wait on that one.
Afterwards, once I do something out there, then I can get
But
blacklisted.
you were committed to all of it. Okay. There was a bunch of podcasters that started last year, and I saw them. And
Are those the ones who put the clips and put dramatic music when they ask questions?
no, fuck that loser.
It's like I'm not being but it's like very dramatic. And it's like,
But what's his name?
what's
No,
your
these
dream
guys,
in life?
they started these podcasts, right?
What is your dream?
What is your dream in life? And it's like,
Oh, we're talking about a different person here.
no.
Oh, the person? Yeah.
But it's like, what's your dream in life? And then you see the guest like,
Damn, you just touched me.
and it's like,
That's my dream in life.
The level of quality on this podcast.
Sophisticated debates.
I think this podcast has gotten more sophisticated this year.
Oh, yeah,
Exactly.
definitely.
We do try.
So I was telling you, these
I think he's
podcasts
making up
came
for the
out-
lack of number one.
Oh yeah. Alhamdulillah.
Who?
I
Your
called him
listener
yesterday.
number one,
I don't know
listener
why
number
his cousins are in London with him, but apparently his cousins, they're like, oh, that miskin, ما عنده أحد. Let's go be friends with him. And yeah, they ruined all his plans. All his plans were ruined. He's sad.
But yeah, it's what were we saying?
I was saying, what's the name? Last year, a bunch of podcasts started, and I started following them, but I never followed them from Pasta Kabsa because I want to see if they're really going to be committed to it. Because this shit is commitment. You can't half-ass it.
Yeah, doing it every week, once a week, even though you don't know where you're gonna go with it. You don't have how they.
It takes
and
work.
doing an hour.
An hour plus every single
An hour
time.
plus.
Oh,
Yeah.
God. And you got the editing, you got the uploading, you got the Instagram cuts, the memes, and so on. These guys were just making podcasts, right? Just audio and then not even no videos.
Did you notice that there's an abundance of fake podcast clips?
Of course.
Like, have you seen those? They're hilarious.
What do you mean by fake podcast?
Like, so you see these guys who are like fitness bros, right?
Okay.
Oh yeah.
So it comes up to me as a sponsored post, and you see them, and they're talking about this idea or like this way of training,
The
whatever.
Spartan way.
Yes.
No, but here's the thing: what they do is their backdrop is the red curtain,
Okay.
so they're faking being on Joe Rogan.
Oh, dude.
Oh,
That's
So you're looking at, but it still doesn't look right.
There's something
You know?
off.
but
about
Yeah.
they're selling
So,
their pills.
so you're looking at
The
it. and
crazy one was the Joe Rogan one when they faked his voice. him
Joe
this other
Rogan
guy.
and Joe Rogan.
No.
when they're interviewing the
No, they brought Joe Rogan as he's talking to someone and they dubbed a whole different conversation.
No fucking.
Wow.
The only way
Oh,
that I knew that it was fake is because I kept looking at his lips and it wasn't
You know,
sinking.
every time I watch Joe Rogan,
Look at the lips.
Can't keep my eyes on
But
it.
it's actually pretty funny, and you see the people that you see, a lot of them like that are doing that is these like 21-year-olds that like buying a Lamborghini when in your 20s is something everybody should do. If you're
Oh,
not,
yeah,
you're a
yeah,
loser. You know all that.
By the way,
those guys.
Empowerment.
it's very simple to buy
But-
a Lamborghini in
but-
your 20s, by the way. It's not a difficult
No,
thing.
no, but the way they say it, like you should be a millionaire by 21, but you look
I
at
remember
it,
that one.
you see them all.
Crypto, bro.
And
Yeah.
no, it's drop shipping. So
Drop shipping, bro.
so you see them and they're talking and it's like they're like, I don't see the other guy in the podcast. There's no other guy.
There's
so
no
he's
other-
pretending
Yeah,
like
it's like he's talking to someone. He's only talking to himself.
and he's only talking to himself and he's giving all these things like conspiracy theory or whatever. And you look at it and I'm like, how do people buy this? And it's like
what are they
it's
selling it
become
then?
the
It works.
every one of them. What do they end up selling?
What?
A course.
Yes.
Ah, dude. Fuck that.
Like, buy my course to learn.
Yeah.
What's
How to turn your life around.
Drop shipping.
Yeah, what's that?
It's basically you go to Alibaba.
Yeah.
You're creating a website that connects the product to the Alibaba site. So you're just
the
there
factory.
and you're just taking a cut.
Okay.
You're
So
just
I
taking
go
a cut
say,
out.
yo,
Yeah.
there's this new product. It costs. It's what they do on Snapchat all the time.
Yeah.
You got this product. It's costs 200 riyal. The
But I'll
product
get
costs
it to
only
this.
10. And then when you buy it, it ships to you from China. It doesn't ship to you from here or anywhere else.
Yeah. So it
And he
ships you
takes
from
his
different shops. It's from different shops.
I think you guys just gave me a new idea. But okay.
I mean, listen, it
Drop shipping has
works.
been around for like years.
No.
It
Not the way I'm
works.
gonna do it.
It works, and if someone does it, they get it, whatever, make your money.
Yeah.
I don't. It's not.
Yeah.
I'm not faulting it, but
I
then
am.
you look at them. So there's a lot of these. What's his name? The new guy, Iman Gaji, or what's his name?
I was showing
What?
the boys. Remember I
Who?
told you I was like, there's this asshole that came up on my algorithm.
And it's
Life of a millionaire in Dubai.
Oh,
I showed you last week.
So he
Yeah.
comes. He's like, I think he's half Russian or something like that.
Yeah.
But he comes in, but like, he has this. He's like motivational speaker. He's like, and he says things that I'm like, he's doing a podcast. He's actually doing an interview or a
I know.
podcast, and he's talking about, it's like,
Success.
where no. It's like, you hang with me, you start dressing, no labels on your clothes, no, just a t-shirt, whatever, watch Rolex or something.
Yeah.
Nothing new, not a new blow. He starts doing like that. He's like, and then he's like, oh, and of course, and then the shoes, no dunks, unless it's Travis. It's not, you know. And I'm like,
Oh, wow.
He's a hype beast.
so you look at and the way and then he started popping up on my feed a lot more, and it's like, you know, believe in yourself, you know, and
That's the mantra. That's the mantra.
but they're all selling courses.
Yes.
It's the exact same thing.
It's all the same
It
thing.
is.
It's all the
But
same
Iman
thing.
Ghazi is a different conversation, though.
No, but-
in my humble opinion, I think he's money laundering. But it's a different conversation.
Listen, I don't know.
That's your
I don't
opinion.
know.
In my
I
humble
don't
opinion.
know.
In
I
my
don't
humble
know.
opinion. In
I-
my humble opinion.
Listen, I
think
don't
it's
know
money
enough.
laundering.
I just think he's irritating on that sense.
He is. A millionaire gives a fan a Rolex. A millionaire gives a fan whatever this bullshit. That one episode, he's like, I want to get the new Range Rover, but then I got the long wheelbase. So I just have to get the Phantom. But once it comes out, I don't want the Cullinan because the Rolls-Royce Cullinan is too ugly. But because you get a lot of options. But I'm looking at the Range Rover more than the. Would you shut the fuck up? Just launder your money and shut the hell up, bro.
But it's an abundance of these kind of coming up and being like this sort of like motivational. It's like, yeah, you know, and they say it's like it's the younger Jordan Peterson type thing. You know, it's like clean your room and you'll be fine in life.
I'll tell you
It's
the
like
best
that kind of
person, bro.
thing, you know?
I forgot. I need to find him. I mistakenly bumped into him on Twitter. I don't know how the hell I got to him. I mean, X.
Mistakenly.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yes, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
So Elon Musk صورة على تركش عشان كده.
Don't dead name that clap.
Don't name.
This guy, basically, he's taking he's on the stock market.
Okay.
All right, and he's a daily trader. So you know those guys are like lunatics, right? They need to get on time. They need to put all the numbers, buy, sell as fast as possible. So he started doing. He's like, I'm gonna find out what is the good luck charm that everybody uses in order for me to make it work. So he starts using crystals, right?
Oh wow.
He's like, this one is for knowledge. Here we go. This
Mashallah.
one is for strength. Here we go. And he puts it in his pocket and he's like, okay, I have $2,000 I'm going to trade in today. Let's see how much money we make. And you just see it just like falling.
Wow.
And like, these
Yo,
crystals are not working.
No knowledge.
He missed the heart crystal.
Not-
Yeah. Because Captain Planet
Captain
can't say it.
Planet. He should Captain Planet it.
But
That's stupid.
But it
I think you'd be great at Jenga, by the way.
Jenga.
Yeah, the way you moved and you like
Right.
slowly.
Smooth,
Yeah.
smooth about doing
Catherine
it.
Zeta-Jones.
I'm
Yeah.
actually pretty good at Jenga.
Seattle, what I tell you?
It's,
What I tell you?
But yeah,
Quick fingers.
It's
What?
it's just funny to see all these guys that, you know, everyone's trying to give advice.
But it's been happening for a while now.
No,
right?
but it's been now.
It's been evolving.
It's
right,
been
for the past
evolving in a
couple of
different
years.
way, yeah.
They're like,
There's a market out there, bro. These
no,
guys
it's
are-
not about the market. Okay, you're capitalizing on people's issues,
You're capitalizing
Exactly,
on
right?
suckers.
Like a life coach.
True.
Now there's silence here because
No, no,
everybody
no,
has
no,
a friend
no,
who's
no,
a
no,
life
did
coach.
you not
Wait,
hear
who's
it?
a life coach? Who has a life coach? Who has a life coach?
Who has a friend who's a life coach?
Who?
Take a wild guess.
lot of
Out of
people-
everybody
A
here.
lot of people have life coaches.
Shamsi? What do you think? Shamsi?
Yeah, I don't have a life coach. I know people who are life coaches.
And how do you feel
know-
about them?
Me?
No, him.
How do you feel about them?
About the life coaching.
Yes.
Yes.
Does it work for them? It's great. I'm happy that it works for them.
Okay, fair enough. Okay, I'm not
simple
gonna
as
say
that.
that.
Okay, so you're gonna say, yo, they're scamming people. You're not gonna say
You
anything.
see, no,
about
I'm looking at these courses, right? And a lot of these courses, because they're
Yeah.
repeating the exact
But-
same
ما
thing.
خلص 13 هذا أعرفه.
You know, because they're repeating the exact same
it.
thing.
في حفرة في
Like, you know,
حفرة.
that tells you that there is a market and demand for this.
But
kind of
here's the thing. What they're saying is something like,
Essentially the same.
oh, wake up at 6 a.m., have breakfast and a coffee, work. And I'm like,
Shamsi, are you
So
calling?
common sense things.
Shamsi,
Exactly.
I'm sorry. Let's go back for a second. Are you saying there's a market for that? Are you saying people's issues and mental health is a market?
I'm saying it has been.
There
made
we
into
go.
a
There we
market.
go.
I'm saying,
No,
like,
no.
why
I'm
are
saying
you
it has-
existing if your goal is not to actually make people feel better, but you're actually capitalizing on people's issues and their mental health?
Well, that goes from one person to the other, right? Some people might actually be trying to do good by other people, which is a noble thing.
Hello,
you
hello.
know?
No,
But-
I will tell you why it's full of shit and you can't get
No,
out of
but
this.
like-
No, 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 no.
but- but when you look at the internet-
Are they in
Fuck the
it
internet.
for helping people? Or are they in it for the money?
No, they're in it for the money. They're in it for the money.
I don't know.
No, here's the
Shamsi,
thing. No,
I
and-
don't
and
know.
How are
I'll
you
tell
a life coach when you did not go through life? What is what certifies you to be a life coach?
So-
did you study on people's health and their mentality
I
for you to be a life coach?
Don't know.
That would make you a
That's what I'm
therapist
trying
if
to
you
tell
or
you.
not.
Don't know.
Exactly.
I
That's the thing.
honestly
There's
don't
no
know.
such thing as a fucking life coach.
Okay. So if you're a life coach
Yes.
and you're in your 20s and 30s,
Yes,
Yo.
you're a
thank
scam
you.
artist.
Yes.
Okay.
You haven't. If you're a life coach and you're 60 and above, all right, cool.
So it's age.
But the-
Age is what defines
Of
life.
course.
I don't know,
Experience.
Your experience through
Your
life.
experience through
Yes,
life,
but
then you're a life coach.
Yes, sure, but I feel some people go through a lot in 5 years compared to other people who don't go through shit.
Then they
But
can
that's
go.
not what
They,
we're
they
talking
can.
about, though.
That person can actually put in the work and become a therapist or a psychiatrist,
I'll tell you a good
Okay.
story.
or
Listen to me.
or they can be healthy and be a trainer to help them through living. Or a
What kind of
physical
trainer
therapist.
though? That's what I'm saying. Like these again. I
Something
don't.
they have experience in,
Mm.
Hey,
not life.
yeah, they're not going to be like,
Life is-
oh,
They don't
we're
have
going to
experience in
take
life.
over everything.
If you talk
Yeah.
to a 20-year-old about a death in the family or a death in someone that's close to them, and you see how they look at life as 20 years old, and you talk to someone who is 60, those are two different conversations.
Completely.
Here's hold on, not even 60. Talk to someone who's in his 20s. Talk to someone who's like mid 30s and you start thinking about mortality.
Completely different.
Exactly.
You're seeing things because also once you get 30 and above, your body doesn't work the same way anymore. You
Mhm.
start, pain in places that you don't feel anymore. And
Mhm.
you're like,
Preach.
oh damn, you
Preach.
I got no back and no shoulders. It's just jello back there.
but then you start thinking it's like, no, actually my body can actually break down without
change.
me and change without me doing anything in order to make that
Yeah.
happen.
True.
Even me living my life, that could happen. But even that conversation between a 20-year-old and a 30-year-old, that's why what I'm saying, where it's like if you have someone in their 20s, I'm not, and again, people, there are some, there are mature, smart people in their 20s. That's fine. But in terms
not
of
what we're
life
saying, yeah.
coach, is a different situation. It's not like, I'm not
Life
saying you have,
experience is different.
yeah, but I'm not saying, oh, you haven't lived through enough time. They're like, no, it is actually true. You haven't lived through life.
Yes.
It's a different perspective that you have. When you're older, your perspective is more kind of broad. You see everything. When you're in your 20s, everything is done because you have a lot of energy. Right? You have a lot of energy and you can actually move. You can actually.
Jay shared a good clip with me a couple days ago. She was telling me about this clip that she saw. And the clip was this old man whose wife passed away. And they asked him about his wife passing away. He's like, oh no, she didn't pass away. She's on vacation, but she hasn't come back yet. And sooner or later we'll be together.
Is that the French guy?
I don't remember.
Oh, that is.
Give me a 20-year-old who's going to think in the same exact way and not think about telling you about all the pain that he has to go through. It's when you say life coach, you're talking about life.
It's completely different.
Stop dumbing down what life is. Life can't be dumbed down unless you're a dumbass.
Easy. Just
And a lot of
live,
people are dumbasses.
love,
Laugh.
These three.
Go to India.
Why do I
Bangladesh.
listen? Why do I feel like Shamsi had it in his bio at one point?
Life coach.
No, live, love.
I'm a Shamsi life
No.
coach.
It's in the kitchen wall. It's just right there.
Actually, not the kitchen, it's the kitchenette.
Thank you very much.
Oh, the kitchen. He
Kitchenette.
has a nook.
It's the tea nook.
Look, the one thing, I give Shamsi on so much shit, but Shamsi will never bullshit his way as a life coach anyone.
No,
I'm well aware of my
He'll
limits.
bullshit
Listen,
himself and a lot of things. but not
Exactly,
life coach.
exactly.
He lied to himself, but he wouldn't lie to
Oh,
others.
definitely.
Yeah,
definitely,
true.
That is every
But
day.
Yes.
No, but when I look at it,
every day.
when I
You
look,
are amazing. And he walks out crying.
you're incredible.
Looking at the mirror, just going like, you.
that's the thing.
Amazing.
Like if we're crapping on this whole industry,
One
like
single
even
tear.
for me, when I look at people who are actual psychologists and actual psychiatrists, and I look at how that industry treats people with actual problems, bro, I am turned off, honestly, because I see a lot of people who end up getting, going to doctors, and doctors don't really delve enough into their issues, and they just resolve it with pills.
But
Completely
here's
different.
the-
Between one person to the other. It's
Yeah,
completely
that's
different.
different.
That is
different.
no. That's different. That's different because I've
Yes.
seen it firsthand with people.
Yeah.
Where it's like, no, that person, they need that,
No, no.
and because you have people where it's like, oh yeah, they take a lot of pills and it affects them and they become really kind of.
What
like,
I'm- what I'm saying is-
they're not themselves.
They're
but
very numb.
there are people who actually
Do
without
need
it,
it.
they're actually very anxious.
Yeah.
And I saw it firsthand on people because I was like, oh, okay, no.
I
Maybe-
completely agree.
Yeah. It's
completely agree.
that is
But-
different from person to person because also, again, it's chemical imbalances. It's all
Definitely.
these things that you need. So, and I'm not.
It's all these things that you don't even understand.
and here's the thing.
Exactly.
I don't understand it enough to be able to say anything about it because everyone is different in that
I
sense.
completely agree.
But-
But I think he's talking about something else, which is people who are just like therapists and psychologists, psychiatrists that are just neglecting like
Not
what
that-
you're,
that's
what you're saying. Just
that's
going,
also
giving you a
integrity.
quick.
That comes towards it.
That's integrity. That's integrity.
different.
Some people have it, some people don't.
That
If
comes-
I meet a therapist at a party, we are no longer
We're
having
no
a
longer-
conversation of any fucking sort.
What are you talking about?
Wait,
If it's 3
wait.
a.m., just
Wait,
and
And
you're
even
sitting there?
therapists
No,
have the
fuck
party.
off.
Yeah,
Adil,
Ad, yeah.
Adil,
hold on.
Work hard, play hard. Yeah, come on. What are you talking about?
Did you meet that therapist you're talking about?
No,
At a
no,
party?
no, no,
Or is this just
no, no,
general?
no, I'm talking about a general thing where I feel
No,
like a lot of people
there
look for
are.
help around them and they don't find the right kind of help until
Yeah, but
it
that's-
takes a long time.
that's
you know,
because it's also difficult. It's
Yes.
difficult.
But someone that's certified is better for me than someone that's not
definitely,
certified.
definitely,
Yeah, for sure. But
definitely.
it's
No,
also-
no disagreement there.
But also, my perspective on the world is different. Someone who's going through something has a different perspective.
Facts.
I can't know what they're going through because I don't know their situation.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah,
You support.
I can support, but sometimes my support isn't what they need.
True.
But I don't know how to handle it because I don't have experience in it.
And you also need to
that's
be
why-
smart enough to understand that if your support is
Yeah.
helping or not.
Yeah, and a lot of times you're like, okay, no, I need actual professional help, and I think that's where, again, every situation is different.
Every situation is unique and everyone is, trying their best to figure out whatever solution works for them, right?
Yeah.
So sometimes that's why I understand it's easy for people to fall for these internet hucksters because it seems like an easy solution, right?
But here's the thing.
It
We're not.
seems like
I'm not.
an
No.
easy.
No, but I'll
Man
tell
is
you.
60, bro.
Yeah.
What they say- they say-
Using these Instagram hucksters.
but when you come down, to these to these guys and all that, and I'm like, it's a hustle.
It is.
It's a hustle. We've seen it before. They've had it before with the motivational speakers and all these things. Now it's
Say yes.
Now it's on the internet and it's on like TikTok and it comes up and it pops up. And at the end of the day, a scam is a scam. But if a scam helps someone evolve, who am I to talk? If a scam
If you get something out of it.
like if someone goes in that course and actually that helps them come to success.
A fruitful scam.
A fruitful scam.
Yeah.
Exactly. But for me, the end of the day is how I see it as a scam. When someone tells me it's like, oh no, I followed this person's course, I'm now making more money than I thought I would make. I'm like, okay,
Sure.
that. But
Some people are that lost.
Some,
Adi, actually.
some
What do you-
people are that lost. But for me, I'm like, okay, it might have worked for you. But how many people did it not work for?
Exactly.
And why did that person make
What's
it?
the
And
success rate?
if that guy doesn't need the money, right? He's a millionaire. He doesn't need the money. Why is the course behind a paywall? Put it out for free. If
Because
you're giving
because
Rolexes,
capitalism.
if you're giving out
Because
Rolexes,
capitalism.
Nah, he's putting in his
Man.
time. He's gotta like
He's got to get something out of it,
Yeah.
right?
but yeah. Anyway, now we solved mental health.
Exactly. This
We
was
solved it.
an intervention for Shamsi.
Oh, thank you, fellas. I feel so much better now about myself.
Every episode is an intervention. No,
We're basically saying go see the therapist.
Yeah,
Or
بس لا يعني الحمد لله. It's just interesting things that you see online.
It's not only online. See, if it was just online, I would have been fine with it. But the problem is that we see it in our close friends, and that's when it becomes an issue. And if you're close friends, you can't have that honest conversation with them. And the one thing that I really, really noticed, you cannot really have honest conversations with friends anymore. It is very rare. I can have an honest conversation with y'all, but I know 100 people outside that I also call them friends. I can't really tell them how I feel,
True.
even if they're doing it right or wrong, because to them, no,
Might
I don't
take it,
want to
yeah.
hear it. And so you're stuck there looking at your friend wasting his fucking time, and you're trying to help, but this person doesn't want your help. So they're stuck.
All you
And-
can do is just make sure your opinion is voiced. That's about it.
But also,
Even then,
It's
sometimes-
up to them for-
sometimes,
to
sometimes,
Take it or leave it.
and I do see this a lot with certain people, especially when I see it with the guys around Urban Lot, هذيك الأصغار هذا. And it's like sometimes I want to give some advice. I'm like, oh, don't do, but I'm like, is it beneficial for them to learn it on their own,
Probably.
to figure that out, or for me to actually try to get through to them, if it's something that's not like harmful, if it's not something that's gonna mess their own life.
People tend to learn better
But-
from their own
Yeah,
mistakes.
so there's
If you're
also
seeing someone that's falling and other fallings are different.
Yeah.
Some things that you want them to take that little pain for them to understand. It's good for them in
Yeah.
life. And some things, no, you want to actually come and say, listen, this is really going to ruin your life.
Yeah, for sure.
Like being friends with Shamsi.
But lessons that you learn on your own are usually lessons that are imprinted in you, right? Like more than others.
Most people, yeah.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
But also,
There has to be a balance between being street smart and book smart.
Oh, definitely.
That's where you need to find, you know?
yeah. So talking about the balance between being smart and smart.
Yes.
smart and smarter.
Yeah.
Smartest.
Smartest, smarter, and the smartiest.
Smartiest. Yes, I like that.
So,
Hello, yeah.
so I'm going all the way to Paris, my friend.
All right. Let's go.
So, what do you guys think of the runway show in Paris for the 100 brands?
Oh.
No, we took it back. we took it back.
Ooh.
Well, look, I've voiced my opinion on this podcast before. I said it privately to a bunch of people, and I'll say it here. I think it is a disgrace what's happening to all the brands by the Fashion Commission. And I think the person that's leading the Fashion Commission is taking it down a very ugly road. And I think the brands need to stand up for themselves.
Here's my thing. Listen. This is
Give
from
me
someone.
a brand that they've actually received value in this program.
Here's the thing. Of course, I'm not in the program, so this is all hearsay.
Exactly.
You know, not applicable in court.
Mhm.
But
Just in
Hey,
case.
when they call me bitching,
that's I don't
they
but,
call.
No, but here's the thing. Like, for me, you know, I saw that and I called up, the brands that would. I'm like, oh, that's cool, congratulations, all that. That's great. In my head, I'm like, all right, maybe they've learned and improved.
Maybe.
I call someone that I know that's outside of this, that's in Paris Fashion Week, that's taking part and doing so, not a Saudi brand, someone else. I'm like, oh, by the way, did you check out, the runway show?
Did you hear about?
Did you hear about the runway show? They have a showroom in 3 days. Can you check it out? Tell me how it is. I was actually, happy for the people that were there. Our boys were there. Since was there.
Yep. Shout out to
Turbo was
Sins.
there. Like a lot of people were there. So the guy tells me, he's like, no, I haven't heard anything about the runway show. But I'm like, okay, the showroom is in 3 days. Can you go check it out? He's like, I'm leaving tomorrow. All the buyers are leaving tomorrow.
Oh.
What?
He's like, after this date, there's no real buyers in Paris. So it's like, so in my head, I'm like, why do a showroom when there's no buyers?
What's the purpose when
So-
you know?
What the hell happened?
Or
there?
if you actually do know or not know, that's even a different question. But
Yeah, and again, I don't know if anyone sold. That's something that I wish was in the fashion report.
The annual report that was not
The
really a
annual
report.
report. For me, useful information. If you want to shut me up from criticizing, put the information there. It's like, oh no, you
Exactly.
tell me that I messed up. Actually, show me. It's like these brands that stuck with us, all of them sold. All of them are going to be in stockists around the world, and you're not because you didn't stick with us.
you didn't stick around the program.
Take
But
that
they don't-
annual report, right on top Vogue, and then open it. It's a fucking magazine. It's not an annual report. There's interviews and shit with fucking other companies. What I want to know, what I really want to understand, is this is the direction that the Fashion Commission doing right now to all these brands. Is this marketing? Is this let me show the world what we have, or is it hey let me really help grow your brand for you to
Okay.
be successful?
Let's unpack this a little bit here. I'm going to give you this hypothetical situation.
Let's go.
Let's call this the Galag 50 Brands program.
Let's go.
Okay.
Right. And
Love me some hypothetical.
exactly, this is the hypothetical. This is
I live in hypotheticals.
Yeah, it's my life.
But
in my head.
Here's how I would tackle it. This is, I think, because communication is key. Because round 2 happened without communication with the brands. So here's how you do it. You
Also,
go like-
round 1 happened with communication.
no, without. as
Okay.
well. No, there's
Making
no-
sure here. Okay, just making
Hey,
sure.
hey,
There's just a report.
consistency.
There's just a
There we
report.
go. That's what we're talking
Consistency.
about here.
There's just a report. They're very consistent and not
Not communicating.
And not doing work. There you go.
Okay.
So here's how I tackle it. And by the way, You guys can take this for free. I'm not going to charge you if you guys take this.
Look at the guy.
Yeah.
What a guy. What a man.
You know, I'm doing
For
this
the
out of context.
people.
Yes,
I'm
for the
community.
For the culture.
For the culture, exactly.
Okay.
So here's how I do it. I'm like, okay, what are the categories I'm working with?
Okay.
Okay, cool. Now, before I put together the program, these are the brands that I'm with. Okay, communicate. What do you need?
What do y'all require?
What do you need? Some people need from the ground up how to put together tech packs, all that. There's a person, an expert there to teach you.
Program ABC.
Program ABC. From al-bidaya to the, I need just connection to manufacturers and all that. Cool. This guy can connect you to manufacturers. Or here's one better. We have a factory that will take care of the manufacturing for the 100 brands. That they can do minimum quantities, but the factory is guaranteed the order numbers because it's 100 brands ordering from them.
Okay. So actually,
Dedicated
So it's like
So-
it's like see what the brand needs and have something for it, rather than I don't know what the brands need, but I'm giving you all the exact same thing to work towards. And this is what I never found. And for me, I'm like, why not do the easier thing and solve the program? But then, you won't have a runway show in Paris. But then again, how valuable is a runway show in Paris when it's a runway show with multiple brands? So no brand can actually come out with their own identity within it.
Like there's nobody that actually can come out with their own personality,
Exactly,
rather than all fit in one box.
And it's nice photos on Instagram. And I've congratulated all the brands that had it because I think it's cool. Anyway, I think it's cool.
I think those are great ideas.
I think these are great ideas, but that sort of application of the Galag 50 brands, I'm not big enough to do 100. I'll do 50.
Yeah.
But
again,
you talk to each of these. What do you need? And you have a program within that program to help them. So you have all these categories instead of putting the different categories as concept or like streetwear or all that. It's like, no, all of these guys with the dresses, need production and manufacturing. Cool. Solve that issue.
So it's like basically figure out a more efficient way of slicing the cake of support that you can give out.
Exactly. And
where do you go off having the audacity to try to make them work?
Adil, wait a minute. The man is using common sense. Let him speak.
How many times have we discussed you not using your common sense when talking to people?
I apologize.
Allah yahdik.
I apologize.
why?
You want them to get up and do work now?
Because it's common. It needs to
Bro,
be elite sense.
they're doing the bare minimum. Stop asking for more. Okay.
But that's
and they're failing at the bare minimum.
that's my problem with the situation.
So it's
still,
direction.
it's
Direction,
still
we don't
the
know.
same thing. Not even that.
So it's communication. Communication is the key
It's
issue.
still no communication. No one knows. Not many people know what's going on with the program. They just get these tasks to do, and it's like
I do
what are
not
you doing?
know what is their mission. I don't even know that. Give me your fucking mission. Tell me what you're trying to do here.
I want to ask a question.
Go ahead.
How many brands sold to buyers?
Where?
Just to buyers since joining the program. Since joining the program,
I do not know.
That's
They had an annual report that didn't even have those numbers in it.
that's something they should advertise. That's something that everybody should know. It's
This
like,
is
oh,
what
no,
I
these are
thought the
brands.
annual
That's what I
report was
wanted
going to
know.
be. As a guy who reads fucking annual reports, I thought it's going to give me some good data to find out what's been going on in the fashion commission, also in the fashion industry in Saudi. This is how I felt I was getting. And then I got these random like public statistics about Nike and Adidas. Bro, give me the local brands, what they've been doing. Stop telling me you posted them in fucking France and New York. I don't give a shit about that. That does nothing for anybody. Not even for them. You take them out of their houses. You stop their production. You move them to other fucking cities to go and fucking try to sell.
No.
What are you doing?
No, they don't move them. No, they have to buy their own tickets, their own accommodation.
Are you serious? Are you fucking
So
serious?
you're not even giving me the support that that I.
So why are you
really
there?
need.
I have no idea.
What is the value of me being with you? Is it clout? Because I don't even see it as clout.
It's you get to see.
Here's
You get to
the
see
thing.
Adil. That was
Here's
part of
the thing.
Barack, please come on the podcast. I'm calling you by name this time. I'm done playing around. Come on the podcast. Come and have a conversation with me. Let me run through your annual report with you real quick. Maybe I missed out on something that you might know that I have no fucking clue in. So please come and help me out, please, sir.
Sir.
I'm being kind. Sir, get on the podcast. Let's have a conversation because this is ridiculous. Shamsi, you're not getting away from this one.
Not at all.
Okay.
I'm right here.
Let me introduce Shamsi to you, by the way, really quick, right behind me.
Yes.
No, bro, it hurts. It really hurts.
It's not,
It's sad,
not
bro.
ideal. It's
You're
not ideal.
dragging them through the fucking mud. Tell us what's going on. Tell us what the plan is. Let us understand. Look, if you tell me, I will get you to the mountaintop, but it's going to require that you're going to have to dig in deep and put in so much work. I'll say, fine. There's a direction and X amount of time. We're going to be at the mountaintop. But you don't tell me where we're going. You don't tell me why we're pulling out. You don't tell me why am I paying tickets to go abroad to find something. You're not telling me nothing. So what am I doing exactly?
I have no ideas. That's why I didn't. I was like, I don't think they would have taken
Exactly.
me in a second round.
That's a different conversation.
But
Post. Okay.
post Kabsa.
No, we want the Fashion Commission to succeed. We want the local brands to succeed.
Definitely.
But we don't know what's going on.
That's the thing. It's almost like you're more likely to succeed when you're every man for himself than you are as part of programs and these kind of things.
And that's what's going to hurt us in the future.
Which is the
For me,
problem.
getting involved in something like this requires time, energy, effort. If my time, energy, and effort are not being, well
Compensated,
spent, well spent, well utilized, if it's not giving me any value or return, then what? At the end of the day, I need to ask myself the question, and then what? Why? بعدين, like
if you're flying me to New York or Paris, okay, if you're making me take time out of my fucking days to come in there, what are you giving me? Are you telling me to go and just try to sell? Or are you putting me in a room with people who can take my brand and sell it abroad? What are you doing? Are you putting me in a place for me to succeed? Or are you showing me off like a fucking monkey? Which one? It's that simple.
And again,
it's not that difficult to ask.
And again,
He lost his neck. He lost his neck.
I do that.
He lost his neck.
That was loud. That was loud.
I apologize.
He does it yearly. It's that season now.
Wow.
And it
Almost
goes back to
34.
the same question that you said. If I already know how to do, the ABCs, if I know how to set myself up, if I just need some support in these specific areas, and I'm telling you, but you're not even listening to me. You're not even.
No, it's not even. I'm telling you. You didn't even ask.
But I'm telling you, I don't want you to ask. I'm telling you.
Yeah, I'm like, this is what I need.
Like, yeah, exactly.
You're like, no.
Like, I'm not waiting for the question.
I'm like,
listen.
listen. I need to figure out how to communicate with manufacturers for fabrics or whatever.
So I'm not getting that.
And then I get the answer. He's like, okay, we have a runway show for you in 3 days.
Sir,
Send us your completed looks.
Stop.
And it's
You should
that
be ready.
kind
Why
of.
aren't you
it's
ready?
that-
You should be ready for the things that you do
It's
not
that
know.
kind of communication that
So the
that's
disconnect.
the issue.
It's the
It's very much a disconnect. And we all wanted to succeed. We were all very excited. We were all like, all these things are great. These things are going to work. We're all a part of this. But it's just disheartening. It's disheartening as a brand. It's disheartening as a business. It's disheartening to do all that. Where sometimes, okay, I'm agreeing. This will cost me. This will cost me money. This will cost me time. This will cost me all that. But there's an end goal. But then you get to the end goal.
there's a reward.
There's no reward. There's no reward except an Instagram picture.
Which is a great picture.
Yeah,
Sorry. I'm sorry. Okay, he's gonna just back me right now.
Oh, no, that was.
Long range.
Long range cup.
But you know what I mean, and it's such a, it's what's the saying?
Leads one to question.
Repeat the same. What is it?
Insanity.
The definition of insanity is doing
Repeating
the same thing and expecting a different result.
Yes.
Year 2, it's the same thing, same result. If you want to shut me up, please release a report telling me these are the brands in part of the program that sold to buyers, and I will shut up. And I'll be like, you're right. And I will shut up.
Because I'm finally getting useful information.
Because you're giving me the information. You're giving me the information to shut me up. Right now, I'm talking about one thing, and you're talking about something completely different in your report. I'm like, no, I want to know this.
You give me a report that does not make sense, and then you make it into a book. Okay.
And then you make that book into a dress.
Yes. This is not a joke.
No, they made the book into a dress. And how much did that cost?
Well, the cost alone to the side. You make
And they're not even hold on.
Okay?
They're not even selling. They're not even selling the books.
Hold on.
They're sending them for
They're
free.
selling for free, yeah.
Okay.
So you bring a French guy that's to speak English on a fashion commission that is in Saudi Arabia to talk about the book that you made out of your
But
Globalization.
But you know that
bro,
book-
what are you doing, bro? It's not the UN.
It's
okay?
recycling.
By the way,
recycling.
by the way,
Recycling.
that whole thing, الفيلم ده كله, I have it as a PDF here on my phone.
I don't know.
Because technology.
You know what I mean?
Fuck, تكفى تكفى
وظل تكفى.
people in fashion
He's
commission
begging.
علموش معنى تكفى يرحم والديك انت وياه.
تكفى is a lot ترى.
He's begging.
We don't
تكفى تعال.
we don't do tekfa.
We don't do
that much.
tekfas,
Yeah.
bro.
Tekfat is
I've never heard of tekfa for him.
Hey.
Yeah.
Bro, this is crazy. The only reason look, I know there's other commissions that I want to get like into conversation.
Sleeping.
Okay. One is sleeping. The other one is the music commission. But the music commission, I can't say anything now because they have someone that is really strong, that is also a friend of ours, and she could make changes. And we're hoping that in 1 year she makes changes. If she doesn't, Hannah!
No, but wait, okay.
Hannah, I swear to God, Hannah. I swear to God.
This is called a loudspeaker.
But you know what? You know
I'm
what?
gonna chase Hannah down.
Yes.
Last year we did talk about music. Why don't we just see what happened since then?
I can tell you.
Last year, Gamers 8, the guys all performed. So since then, what
Middle Beast happened.
What?
Middle Beast happened.
Balad happened.
Beast
Balad
happened.
happened.
You know, XB happened. So those three were, you know,
And
in a row.
for me, it's not necessarily it's like what performances happened or how that.
It's what was released.
It's where did the music evolve to?
The National Orchestra has been touring the world.
Yeah.
Let's not forget about that.
Well, look, to be very honest, I was saying the same thing before. I was like, no one is dropping. Now the end of the year is coming up. Sandstorm is coming up. Now people started dropping. And I thought people were going to give us something for the summer. People were going to give us something for the fall, for the spring, for anything. But it turns out that, hey, when the summer is about to end, people are like, oh, listen, I'm releasing music now. Like, you're releasing because the out season is coming and the Middle East is coming. That's the only reason you're releasing.
But it's
I mean,
it is but it is interesting because one thing that pops up on my feed is now the Jeddah rappers.
Yes.
It's hilarious. Have you seen them?
No,
Which
I have
ones?
not. Tell me more.
They're all dissing each other, and it's all like like el diss اللي فات هذه
Oh. So we're back in 2003.
Oh yeah. And it's
Okay.
like, and I'm looking, and it's popping. I don't know if it's a new beef that's coming up, or it's people are rehashing sort of a moment that happened. But it's popping up. But it's what's hilarious is that if I close my eyes and I play the different songs together, I don't know who's who.
Exactly.
Literally.
They all rap the same. They're all saying the same thing.
That's literally
They're all doing the same like weird beat, but it's like the
Very
same
trappy.
flow. كلهم وان كله لو جيتني الحارة ضربتك ما ادري كيف.
Oh, wow.
and then in the reply تضربني ما ادري كيف انا لو جيتك ما ادري
حجيك في الحارة.
إيه لا لا.
في البيك.
Why is everybody acting like they're O Block?
Because they're bored.
You know what I mean? It's like we don't have, and they're all like standing there wearing balaclavas, like pretending like in UK drill. And
Because they need to be hard.
أيوة.
So
وأول ما تجي دورية.
Yeah.
Oh, you hear
you know what that
Gaffy
reminded
Fia.
me of? You know recently, remember the whole thing with Melly Mel and Eminem?
Yeah.
You know when Melly Mel released a diss track and then
Yeah.
deleted it because it was so bad?
Yeah.
Imagine just the whole thing. And then they're all like on live. والله لو نزلت الديس هذا حيزعلون مني ناس كثار الاسبوع اللي فات شفت ايش قال and you're like
It's all his cousins.
and you're looking at this and I'm like but here's my problem with it. I'm like, okay, cool, that's gonna get clicks,
But
there's three
who's
things.
the audience here?
There's three
It's
things.
kids.
There's three things they're not doing. I'm like, okay, diss tracks have always been part of hip-hop,
course.
Of course.
but it's like there's wordsmithing.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, you don't have that. You're not playful with words. You're not witty.
Don't have that.
Okay, there's meaning, delivery behind it. Like, you look at Biggie and Tupac. Biggie had better flow, but Tupac had better delivery.
There's a
Like, you
technical
felt-
aggression.
Like you felt
Pac
that when
had
he said it.
aggression, bro.
Or the third one, you don't have anything. Make a good song.
You're asking for too much now.
But
Yes,
here's-
At least
Make
make it
something with a good
scandalous, right?
hook, something that's gonna
But
keep you
make
dancing.
make a good song. Doesn't have to be dancing. It's something a vibe. You have to make a good song.
Exactly.
Everything together. You know, when people criticize the SoundCloud rappers, they made good songs. They
They
were
did.
bad at rapping, but they made good songs. But here's the thing, and someone actually told me this. They're like, "Oh no, this one guy who does these things, he dropped tracks like as songs, but they didn't do so well. So whenever he drops it hits." I'm like, of course, because that's controversy. But then again,
Because people are looking for that.
but here's the thing. I'm like, do those tracks live on?
No.
Nope.
The decision needs to be made by these people. Like, I'm not gonna waste my time on this foolishness, on this like, oh, I'm gonna go diss him and,
This fake beef.
this fake beef that doesn't
It's a
really
meme.
matter. This meme rap. You know who you remember when YouTubers started dissing each other?
Yep.
Like KSI, like
Exactly. Yes.
Sidemen,
It was
they all-
exactly that.
They
It's
all
still
started
the same
dissing
thing.
each other
Okay.
before they started boxing each other.
Mm.
So, so,
It's an evolution, man.
so it was like
Evolution.
2017 YouTube. That's what these rappers are doing.
Which is basically basing off 2003, rap industry beefs.
And I'm looking at it and I'm like, guys, all people need to make a decision. They're like, no, I want to release good songs and a body of work rather because you will get the clicks. You will get the clicks.
What is a body of work, Sultan?
It doesn't exist.
It
these
doesn't
days.
exist.
Yes.
But what will get the clicks is these quick hits, right? But who's gonna bump them in the car? Who's gonna listen to them? They're gonna listen to it once. You're gonna get the view number, but where's the repeated listens?
Because that's what they're looking at. We don't have the proper channels for hip hop to change. This is just a fact. I can have this argument with anyone who wants to fucking go toe to toe with me on this one. I have no problem.
No, but
The issue that we face here is that since Qusay blew up, that was the only style because that was the only one that made someone actually relevant in hip hop.
But he was the only one, though.
Look, this we understand. But since then, no one had the right backing and the proper channels for them to blow up. I'll give you a good example. Wayne Yabu, if there was the proper channels to have the conversations with NBC and all the primetime channels and the right conversations with a lot of other people that I don't want to just put them on blast, it would have been a way bigger hit with a way bigger return. But when there's no proper channels of how to show these people to these other people, it becomes the problem. So now all they know is the same rappers that have been here forever with the same styles that have been here forever since early 2000s. There was no evolution to Saudi hip hop. And the closest evolutions that we get is entitled. But if there's no proper channels to handle how to move this person forward, and then it just becomes pointless.
But
I
there's
get-
no industry though.
I get that.
right?
There
That's the
is
thing.
no industry.
There
What,
is no
what
industry.
what we have, I think it's in different avenues. The problem is that there's a monopoly on it. If we're going to
Thank
be
you.
honest, there's a monopoly.
Because
on
I
it.
disagree with the notion that there is no industry.
In terms
No,
of-
every single commercial, there's someone rapping in it.
Okay.
Every single commercial. When it comes to marketing in Saudi, it's always been hip hop.
Virgin Mega
When
Sure
it comes
got
to
that on
fashion,
their.
it's a hip hop.
Yeah.
Everything that is coming on TV and on fucking NBC, if it's traditional, it's oud. If it's anything else, it's hip hop.
But it brings me back to the point I feel that we've touched upon this
No, but-
entire
but-
episode, which is the shallowness of it. Like
It
it's
is,
a
it is.
shallow.
It
It's
is
a
a very-
shallow. It's not. You're not like when I look at Entitled and when we look at him. I mean, one of the things that really stands out to us is this is somebody who has studied the craft for so long that when you listen to his music, you immediately see how he is a cut above everybody else.
He has a sound.
He is.
That's the thing. He doesn't sound like anyone else. He sounds like himself. And you look at
Exactly.
Yes.
and listen, and you into with that هنا في الرياض. Comparison to that, you have the people that sound unique here, with Entitled, with the other guys,
And their own language and their
Cali
own
has his own
sound.
style.
you know?
Kali, Jeed, all these guys,
Everybody.
they sound like themselves. They don't sound like each other.
True.
But in Jeddah, they all sound like each other.
And in Jeddah, even
because it's a gimmick. It's an imitation of each
it's
other.
a
And
trend.
it's because it's
It's not a
these
trend.
guys.
That's been here forever.
No,
No,
it's
but-
the same
but
trend of
it's-
dissing.
But
right?
but those are the guys that's specifically the most prominent in Jeddah. Like I haven't seen, if there's someone new, please share it with me. But I haven't seen anyone who's outside of
that circle.
that circle of those 3 or 4 rappers that all diss each other every week. Yeah.
And it doesn't sound like there's an evolution in the music either.
There
The
isn't
mu-
because they're
the-
getting the clicks.
Yeah, the
they're
music-
like, why
the-
should we?
The music that you hear today is the same music that you heard 2 years ago. It's the same music.
It is. It is.
But the most important question is, do you have beats for the dawn?
That's a different question. Adam.
Do you have beats for
Yeah.
the dawn?
That's a different question.
You don't have
Wait,
beats
No,
for the
that's-
dawn?
He doesn't. He doesn't.
He doesn't?
سؤال وجودي هذا. ما هذا.
Nah, bro.
Uh,
See, you missed out. You missed out.
Explain. Explain.
You missed out,
the
bro.
dawn, you know the dawn? The chameleon?
Don Legend.
You'll
Yeah,
figure
the
it
dawn
out.
legend,
He sent a message to one of our boys. It's like, yo, I like the things that you're doing. Do you have any beats for the dawn?
And that's
Bro,
a question.
anytime you send a question, you tell someone, do you have beats for the dawn? It doesn't go well. It didn't go well.
Here's.
We don't know if there were beats for Don. That's the thing,
I think he made it clear in his story that there's no beats for the dawn.
I'm just saying, like, we never really found out.
Wait.
No, we found out from B Element.
Yeah.
Okay,
I saw a story. I didn't understand.
Exactly. That was the story. Shout out to B.
But here's
So-
yeah. It's there is an evolution that I've seen recently.
Which
You know,
is
If we're gonna talk like music, like generally other than hip hop, like I think those placeholders that we had last year are starting to be removed
Yes.
this year. There's more talent coming through.
there's
but-
more people coming up.
There's been a lot of drop offs since last year.
Yeah, and I mean, when I people who seem to be releasing more last year, they aren't releasing, but then there's new talent coming through, and like all we get is like one music video that they release. And I'm talking about music in general, not hip hop. I'm like, oh, this is interesting. This is a shift, but then it shows me now. It's like, oh, these people got comfortable.
A lot of them didn't find the clout that they thought they were.
They
and
got
they stopped.
comfortable because they did that, and they started getting all the invited to do these shows and everything without having to release more. And I think this is also the
So
problem.
living
this
off
is
living off that one flash in the pan,
Yeah.
that one thing that you did.
That's the Riyadh business strategy.
Oh my god.
And
For
but
Silker, bro.
but-
Literally for Silker. And even
but
Bene.
having said that, it's the moment that you're seeing these people coming through where they're like, okay, we're not gonna get platformed in these bigger events, or we're not gonna do that. We're just gonna create and release. We will be heard eventually. And there is a strategy to that worked. I mean, that's how Russ got big.
So there's a lot of SoundCloud rappers that blew up off of that.
But also, here's the thing. It's like, yeah, we don't have an industry, but we have a very internet savvy population that you can reach.
True.
You just have to create.
You have to be consistent.
You have to be consistent. You have to
That's
create, and you're
key
like,
word.
okay, this is
Sometimes
what I'm gonna do.
things are not in your hand. That's what happened with Entitled. And Entitled since February 18th, he has 16 tracks ready in the tuck. Like, I mean, ready, mixed and ready to go. And one thing led to another. When you finally, alhamdulillah, came out, shout out to Middle Beast and everybody that was involved. And then now after this, now we're doing our own thing now. We have a couple of things that we want to put together. We're studying the market better. We have enough data over the last 2 years. When they can't give me fucking data, I'm creating my fucking own. Okay,
All right.
I'm not waiting on nobody.
I think that's
Sherlock.
I think
Let's
I
investigate.
think that's the sort of that's the way to do it. You know,
We got to
'cause
rely on ourselves.
you have to do it. You have to be self-sufficient without relying on these platforms. These platforms are meant to amplify what you do.
Facts.
So create on your own and utilize the platforms to amplify rather than base your whole creative process through these
On
platforms.
satisfying the
And I'm not
algorithm.
and I'm not talking about like music and Middle Beast and all that. I'm not
Yeah,
talking
I know what you mean.
I'm talking about in general. And that's because that's how I feel like I worked with Galag. You know, for me, I'm like, we created Galag to be self-sufficient that could operate outside of these programs, you know, where we didn't need them to be successful. And I know not a lot of people can do that. And I know as well, the way Galag started is not the typical way locally here to start a brand, where it might be typical outside, where it's like, oh, we created this entity that created the need for it. Then I get asked a lot of questions. I know the pop-ups in Jeddah, like I got a couple of these guys, companies like, so how do, I want to start a brand. Like, how do we start a brand? I'm like,
Call Kamal.
but it's I don't know how to answer that because I never intended to start. It happened by necessity. So it's like, I don't have an answer for them. So for me, I'm like, so why do you want to create? So it's just a question. Why do you want to create a brand? Like, oh, because I like this. I'm like, once you figure that out, that's the thing. Once you figure that out, everything else will be easy.
No, but I'm looking at in terms of something else that we were just talking about, like that confluence between music and fashion and where success lies.
Confluence.
It's the Venn diagram where things combine.
Okay.
I think part of what
knowledge. I like knowledge, guys.
Okay.
I like the fact that he wanted to explain to you.
Yeah,
So
you have to explain-
these are not one of those
Exactly,
words.
yeah.
Turks.
I just wanted to know what the word means.
I know
yeah,
this word.
Yeah.
This is what it means.
like the success where Galag has built and where I look at somebody like Entitled, where that comes from. It comes from having the audience that actually does believe in you, right?
And it also comes from you being passionate enough to want to put in the work
Definitely. That's
with or without the audience.
But here's the thing.
no, but it's the audience that believes in you and that is always going to come back to you.
Yes,
That's what I'm talking about.
And I think building that is important.
Yes.
I think building that, again, we talk about people being entitled to an audience. And I think Riyadh gives, and I want to say it in the best way possible.
Don't be nice.
No.
Hurt our feelings.
No. It's Riyadh يطبلون لأي أحد.
إيه ما عليك.
You know what I mean? Riyadh.
خفيفين.
No, Riyadh.
Hey,
Like,
yeah.
but you've seen the difference.
No,
You
I agree
look
with you. I'm not
Oh.
agreeing with him.
Lynch, yeah.
No, but you've seen the difference. You've seen how XP and Middle Beast, when the guys came up, أعطوهم جوهم. They're like, all right, we're with you. We're all in this together. Jeddah's different. Jeddah's like, all right, oh, you're coming into my town. Okay, give me a reason for me to give you the vibe that you want.
The big difference, it comes to the power of spending also.
No.
And Jeddah, if I'm spending
Make it worth
300
it. Make it worth
on
it.
you for a couple of hours, you better fucking dance.
Make it worth it.
And
Make it
Riyadh will happily pay 300 to get into the door and say, yeah, this is meh.
No.
Okay.
To get into the door so I can take a snap video.
Yeah, real
so
quick.
I can tell you that I was here.
And we bounce.
And then we bounce.
But that's the thing.
Exactly.
Also.
That's the difference.
But here's the thing. It's like, oh, okay, Riyadh, you're only performing in Riyadh. That gives you that sense, oh, I'm blowing up. People are feeling my stuff.
Yeah, and then you go to Jeddah, you get humbled.
You go to
You
Jeddah.
get to Jeddah, you find nobody really knows who you are.
That's the thing. No, but not many people know. And
Because
you
only
saw that in
Riyadh
the audience.
exists. Yeah. What are you talking about?
Everything else is a figment of our imagination.
Exactly. Everything else, is a suburb of Riyadh.
It's a bubble.
Exactly. Yeah.
Turks is also a flat earther, by the way.
Flat Riyadh. That's all here. That's all here.
But here's
After the other, nothing. It's a drop off.
here's what's important. I think it's for brands, for music. Build your audience, and this is the most basic thing, where it's like, oh, but figure out a way to build your audience.
Honestly, it's not
You
just that.
build your
Have an
audience.
identity as well.
No,
Have an
no,
identity.
no. Build your audience.
Build your
But here's how you build
exactly.
it. You don't build your audience by every month or month and a half posting a track that you just dropped on Spotify.
At all.
No, there's a whole
Process.
thing that you need to do and putting a picture of yourself in the studio working isn't going to give people a reason to like you.
And also, I would like to put this out there. A laptop is not a studio.
But
Take pictures of the studio. Stop taking pictures of your laptop.
people need to understand that you need people to buy into your persona, your
Yeah.
artistic persona.
And in the message that you're trying to communicate.
Yeah, because it's difficult here, and there's.
But
the
it's
whole,
also a thin line between you being out there trying to get people's attention for your work and you being out there and trying to be trendy to get
Influencer.
people's attention.
Yeah.
And that's when you lose it.
exactly.
Very fine
and
line.
It's a
there's-
very fine line.
here's
exactly.
here's something that I found interesting. Which is again a lot of Riyadh, where a lot of
Yeah, how about you move here, man? You love the city so much,
bro.
man.
Honestly, you can't stop talking about
I know,
this.
like,
you know,
Since I'm here, I need.
we're on your mind all the time, bro.
I'm giving you your props
حارقين
because once
دمي.
I go back,
حارقين دمي
كيف
انتوا.
تزيدك
اي
مرة.
مره يا اخي.
yo, by the way, next episode.
You have Ronaldo خلاص كفايه.
Next
رونالدو
episode.
بن نيمار.
عندكم بنزيما عاد شو تبي وفيرمينو
وكانتي
شوف
لا كانتي yeah okay I'll give you كانتي.
كانتي واحد
محرز.
كانتي واحد من عيال الحاره
Yeah.
اقول لك من الان يعني if I see him in the street like المهم this is
السلام عليكم نقوله
Allah. The next episode we're gonna do it in Jeddah. I want to see your vibe
all right
when you're in your comfort
vibes and
zone.
energy.
Yes, I want to see.
It's
your
gonna be
vibe.
dark. There's not gonna be any lighting.
Nobody's gonna say
No, no,
anything. The lens is gonna be fucked
we're gonna
up.
be wearing
Most of
Hawaiian
my
shirts
head.
and you know
For sure. It's gonna be the okay. I'm not. People would have been annoyed at me when I said.
But I
that.
agree with you. I want
But I see. But also like that thin line there, where I see a certain artist or a designer or all that, when they start promoting other brands with their promo codes and all that, and not focusing.
That's when it's
on
over,
their,
bro.
When they're not focusing on their own brand, and for me, it happened to a few people that I was really I am really a fan of their work. I just want them to focus more on their own work and less on the influencer side of
lifestyle.
Exactly.
I have a friend of mine who gave me a great fucking advice, but I'm not as rich as him to actually put it to work. He was like, give someone 100K and whatever he's passionate in. Tell him, oh, can you do this for me? For the thing that he's passionate in. Once he's done, give him the 100K and see how long it takes him for him to do that again. If it takes him a long time, he just wanted the money. He's looking for another 100K. If that 100K flipped into multiple things to help him do more work, then you know that's someone that's dedicated.
True.
Yeah, it's a fact. It's like because money is a motivation, and then when money comes, the motivation gets lost. 'Cause
Also,
the
some
money is
people are
there.
just like bad with money. My man. I mean,
No, it's not about that.
That's a
I
different
love
topic.
how he just comes in. It's like, yeah, maybe some people.
Yeah, I
are
mean,
bad at
Like,
it.
yeah.
you know, financial management lessons.
Yeah, but let's say
No, but see, the point stands. The
you
point
like
stands.
to make tables and shit, right?
I do.
If I give you 100K for you to give me a table, you can take the 100K and go buy accessories or equipment to make better things.
Of course, yeah.
But if I see you not doing any of that, just keeping the same old bullshit that you have, and you're just gonna go spend that money on random bullshit and clothes, I'm like, okay, this person doesn't really care about that.
شرشف.
I'm not that
شرشف
bad with
طاولة.
money.
شرشف
Yeah.
طاولة. That's what he's gonna spend it on. You know?
I mean, he's all the Kidori. I think he's good with money.
Yeah.
I want to tell you something else. Maybe you know this better than
Screw
me.
you.
When we
But
were
yeah, okay.
watching that amazing,
With the combo. Look at the combo.
The combo
Yeah,
works. The combo.
yeah,
I respect
yeah,
that. I respect that.
before Shamsi came, you were showing us that amazing video, the Star Wars one.
Oh yeah.
I wanted to ask a question, but Shamsi came ruin
The level of geekery, by the way, that I felt as
Yo.
y'all were explaining that to me,
Yo.
it was too fresh for me. Well, I was humbled.
Dude,
Here's the question.
Nerd for life.
When was Darth Vader first introduced?
In Star Wars in the 70s.
Yes, in the
Yeah.
70s, right?
79.
Who
79.
made that iconic helmet that is timeless now?
I forgot his name.
See what I mean?
No,
The whole time when I was watching it, I'm like, this helmet
No, it
is the helmet from the 70s. And it's still to this day, it's relevant. Everyone knows what it is.
Yeah, for
It's
sure.
fucking timeless.
Bro,
And no one looks at it and says, yo, this is ugly. Now you know what it is when you see
No,
it.
As
you
a
don't. It's Darth
character.
Vader. It's Darth Vader. He's one of the most iconic characters in cinema.
as a
Amen.
character, he doesn't even need to speak for you to know that he is here. You just
Yes.
need to hear him breathe.
All I hear is
But you are you have a script, right? You have a script in front of you. You're looking at the script. You need to create a prop for the script. How did you get to that? What was the inspiration to get to that helmet? This is what boggles my mind. Because in the 60s, it wasn't about hard lines. At least-
70s.
Because I'm 60s and 70s. Because I'm looking at it in terms of the industry. Industrial
Ralph
design.
McQuarrie.
No, but keep in mind,
حيا الله رافع يعطيك العافية.
Ralph McQuarrie. That's the guy who
In the
first concept artist.
He designed it. Yeah.
in the 70s.
So it's-
Miura sculpted it.
But it's actually inspired by the samurai.
there you go. That's,
By
Yeah,
Black
that's
Helmet.
obvious.
Yeah.
there you go. No, but even that in the 70s, like when
Also-
the movie came out, the US had already been involved in space culture for a good 10 plus years, right? Like people had already gone to the moon. There was sci-fi was already a thing. You had people who were conceptualizing space stations and stuff. So the idea
But it had nothing to do with any of that.
But
No.
yeah, it had nothing to do with that.
Half samurai, half Nazi German.
But here's the
You know,
By the way,
that's the design
I'm talking
inspiration.
about Star Wars
By the way,
overall, not just
by the
Darth
way,
Vader.
by the way.
have you ever heard of Jodorowsky's Dune?
I have.
Have you seen the documentary?
I have not. I've actually have it on my list.
So you should watch it because if that came out before Star Wars,
Bruh, that shit would have been crazy.
that would have changed the whole game because that guy's ideas. But then again, he
Flamboyant
wanted to
as
do
hell.
like a 5-hour like movie, like it would have never happened. He's a bit, you know.
out there.
Well, is that-
Very out there. No, very
Who
out
was
there. Jodorowsky.
He was gonna do Dune before like Star Wars came out.
I'm actually really looking forward to the next Dune.
Yeah,
movie.
it's
coming soon.
it's delayed.
Oh,
Got pushed to
It got pushed
March.
because of the writer's strike.
ugh.
What was all the
Guys,
shit he was telling us
studios, pay your actors, pay your writers.
Please
about?
don't let.
Let's get this ball rolling, ladies and
Yeah,
gentlemen. Let's
seriously,
move it
we're-
up.
yeah.
Let shit
we're-
not be delayed, please.
Exactly. we
But
don't
I
need to
do have a solution to all of this if they would like some help.
shoot in Saudi.
No, as capitalist man, I
Capitalist
understand the
man.
language.
Mhm.
Okay,
And I advise that all writers in the States,
Move
since
to-
you're not getting respected, come to Saudi.
Mhm.
We have a sleepy commission. We have a film
yeah.
commission
Mhm.
that will wake up, and the
we
film commission will give you all the access that you need for you to create the movies. When get paid exactly the thing that you deserve to be paid.
We have rebates.
Hayakum Allah.
But we're thirsty for good writing, by the way. I'm just
Yes,
letting you know,
exactly.
yeah.
And we respect good writing.
and
So,
we're thirsty
hayakum
for
Allah.
good cinematographers.
Also, and
'Cause
also
I'm tired. I'm
We're
tired.
thirsty in general. Yeah.
I'm tired of watching a movie where all the lights are blue,
Oh.
and all of a sudden he's in a room. The room is lit blue for some reason, but there's no blue lights, and then all of a sudden there's an orange light there. You're like, where's the light?
So what do you think
That's
about
the,
that, Turks?
The energy. It's the aura.
But you like that movie though.
it's the
What?
atmosphere.
He's talking about the movie that we don't want to talk about on the podcast.
Dude, it's still energy.
Okay, all right.
It's aura.
And vibes.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, I'm gonna wrap this up.
Oh, so as soon as I say
Yeah, we're
vibes,
gonna
you
get
wrap it
this
up.
one.
As
No,
soon as I say vibes, you press the
Don't
button.
expect
Wow.
Oscar level shit from a B movie. What are you talking about?
But when you market it as an A movie, though,
That's here for sure.
that's what
I mean, it's marketed like it's Oppenheimer.
yes.
I mean,
Did you see Oppenheimer?
Yeah, I loved it.
What did you think?
Did you hear what?
IMAX?
Of course. Well, we don't have real IMAX here, but like.
I did.
Yeah, the
I
closest.
Oh my god.
That's me high.
Yeah.
I went to London.
70 millimeter. Yeah.
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 I really want.
By the way, that's how
you
you
so
do it.
much right now.
I
I hate
right?
you so much
I
right
know,
now. But I watched it.
By the way, that's how he introduced himself. Hi, my name is
Hi,
Shamsi.
I watched
70
it.
70 millimeter Oppenheimer.
no, but I watched it like at 1 a.m. I came out like Al Fajr, and it was worth it.
Yeah, it was.
It was so good.
It was
so
experience.
good. Like there wasn't action in it, and I
Didn't
think-
need it.
No, but I know, but like, and it's like a 3-hour movie, and it did not feel like it at all.
It
Like,
was
for
intense.
For me, I was on my seat, and the
It
way
is.
the dialogue kind of played off each other, it was like an orchestra. Like,
Yeah.
everything sort of played off each
Bro, the
other. Everything was
music.
beat.
I can't wait
with
to
the
see it.
music, with like, so you didn't see it.
I didn't see
Oh,
it. No,
sorry,
I didn't see
that-
it.
Adil is not cinema man.
No, not cinema. I think he can't see cinema.
First off, at the time when it came out, I couldn't see perfectly.
True.
And two, I'm not sitting for 3 hours in a movie theater. I wait for it to come out at home. I'll watch it in my 4K HD.
He'll watch,
Hi, I did 4K.
Okay,
he'll watch it. He'll watch it in parts.
Yeah,
Exactly,
definitely.
yes.
We get sport عليه.
Yes.
Hey, لا,
It's a
بس-
2-week movie.
Yeah, exactly.
I indulged myself
Shamsi,
for 10
Shamsi,
minutes.
Did you see Barbie?
I did.
Shamsi is Barbie.
I did.
Okay.
I
What do you
did.
think?
I was actually surprised that it was not as bad as I thought it was going to be.
That's what you told her? You told her I thought this was amazing?
That's what I actually felt. Like I felt like, okay, I see this is not a stupid movie. This is what I felt. Like I thought it was going to be a really stupid movie, but it was very self-aware.
No, but here's the thing.
It was very
Look,
self-aware.
it will make
for
the
all
direct
it was.
money.
Like they knew that they were making a movie about a toy, and they just had fun with it.
But I mean,
you know?
the director, she's great. Like she's
not
Greta
gonna-
Gerwig is known like so that's why the movie was interesting. Like if it was any other director, I think
It
would
had-
be really interesting.
I don't want to say it.
Shamsi, would you show it to your kids?
It had Lord of the Ring vibes in a sense.
Allah.
You know,
Okay.
Allah.
Yeah.
Wait,
tell
Lord
you.
of the Rings
I'll tell
or
you
The
sense.
Hobbit?
You know how
Because it's different levels.
No, you know how Frodo
look,
leaves.
No,
Frodo-
stop.
Frodo.
Stop.
Frodo.
I think
Frodo.
Hold on. No. Hold on. He just called him Flodo.
No, Frodo. You're not listening to
He
me.
doesn't know how to
Frodo,
pronounce
okay?
anything, my guy.
See, you know how he
He thought it was
goes
Flow Rider.
and he comes back, and then shit is different, and then you're like, oh, yeah, kind of had that.
I just want to say that she must be really cute. For
I mean,
Shamsi to say all this.
Margaret Robbie.
I'm just
she was a
saying.
good actor. You
If
know?
that's what you want to call
You know?
her.
Yeah, sure. She was
Like
amazing.
she convinced him that Barbie was an amazing
She
movie.
played the role. She played the role.
Again, would you show it to your kids? Do you? Because I haven't seen it, so I'm asking you a question. Because all my boys outside, like, yo, this is like.
Wait,
stuff
do
for
you
my
have kids?
Not gonna show.
Of course, Shamsi has kids, bro. What are you
Come on.
talking about?
children,
We don't know about him.
Hold on, you know
Vegas.
Shamsi was divorced.
just like Wu Tang,
Oh, wait, you divorced?
Shamsi's divorced has 2 kids.
multiple times.
No, stop fucking around. Shamsi, tell the truth. Everybody knows this.
No, he just messed it up now.
Yeah.
No, he's just fucking around. No, Shamsi's divorced has 2 kids.
The truth is,
I have
it
2
wasn't
kids.
it wasn't as bad as I was expected it to be. Honestly, that
What,
was-
having kids?
No, the movie.
Great review. Wasn't as bad as I could. 4 stars.
Thank you for that one. I appreciate you for that one.
Touche, good man. Touche.
You know,
Yeah,
I didn't think kids were it, to be honest.
zip the mic.
Anyway, I'm glad that you enjoyed Barbie.
Thank you.
I'm sure that you told her that you should be empowered as a woman.
I mean,
And
she
I'm not.
was
I'm not talking about Barbie. I'm talking about the person sitting next to you.
Greta Gardenberg. She was
Yes, I'm sure she was.
Right.
First of all,
Grundelwald.
you're bringing 2 people together. First of all,
Greta
there's
Thunberg?
Greta Thunberg,
Thunberg.
who's completely different.
Okay.
And there's Greta Gerwig,
Gerwig,
who's the
yes.
director.
Gigi.
Gigi.
Literally, Gigi. We're talking about
So it's a completely
Okay.
different.
Gigi. Yeah. مالك خلطناهم. You should check it out though.
So what did we establish before we leave? Fashion Commission, same.
Where
also
did we
different day.
start with?
Okay.
Like,
Want to start a brand called Kamal?
Writers. Exactly. Yeah, this episode sponsored by Urban Lot and Kamal.
Riyadh only exists in the minds of magazines.
No, Riyadh only exists. Period.
yeah.
Thank you.
Okay.
Please.
As he said, it's
Jeddah-
flat Riyadh. It's
Yeah.
flat Riyadh.
Jeddah doesn't exist
To
when it
Turks,
comes to
an
magazines.
airplane is an amusement ride.
The shallow.
He turns and it's coming down again. How was it?
Going outside. Oh, the land of make believe. Okay.
Shallowness exists and abounds everywhere.
Shaolin does exist.
Shallowness.
Oh,
Shallowness.
Shallowness.
yeah.
Okay.
Shallowness.
Shaolin did well last time. He performed.
Shout out to Shaolin all the time.
Oh,
Gamers 8, right?
Gamers 8, yeah.
and
Who else?
audiences matter. Listen to your audiences. Listen.
Build your audience.
Yes.
Listen. Communicate.
Listen, communicate.
You need to build them to communicate.
مالك كلام.
No, but we've established that a year
Shamsi
on
has
from
kids.
our last podcast, the Fashion Commission still doesn't communicate.
Exactly. That's it. We're gonna do our annual Fashion Commission report every single year.
if you want the annual fashion report, it's gonna be end of August every year at Plastic Edge.
You know where to find it now. You know where to find it.
This is where you get the information.
Becoming an annual tradition.
Thank you everybody for joining us. We appreciate you. Thank you, Galag, for being here.
been fun.
As always. Next one is gonna be at your house.
خلاص. Next
Or-
one's at my house.
Watch it go.
bro في الرطوبة ما نشوف شيء.
I know, right?
Especially middle of summer. Oh,
And
yeah.
just heavy breathing, changing shirts between like conversations. Anyway, thank you for being here. We appreciate Sultan. Shout out to everybody. Shout out to all the people that we hated and we loved. And also, this episode is sponsored by Urban Lot and Kamal.
Once
so
again.
look out for them.
Even though we didn't get paid.
We out.
We out.
Peace. Shamsi has kids. Shamsi has kids. I'm gonna tell you. Remember
kids.
that. 3 kids.
Apparently he doesn't
2
really
kids.
like them.
He's lying to you,
Maybe
Barbie
4,
lady.
Maybe 4.
We
Apparently it's
out.
not that bad.
Peace.
Peace.